It is the 11th of November, 162 AD. You are 21 years old. You are not a hero. You have never killed anyone. You will almost certainly never kill anyone. You are a legionary of the 22 Primigenia, stationed at Castra Vetera on the west bank of the Rhine. And it is going to be cold for the next 152 days. Most of what you have heard about Roman soldiers is wrong. No one spends all day charging into battle with a gladius. If you serve your full 25-year enlistment, you will spend approximately 90 days total in any kind of fighting. The other 8,935 days you will be cold. You will be bored. You will mend things. You will check grain. And you will quietly resent every single one of the 7 men you share a room with. You woke up 11 minutes ago. You have not moved yet. The Optio has been yelling for everyone to get up for the last 4 minutes. You are ignoring him. There is exactly 1 6-inch square of the sheepskin blanket that is actually warm. If you move even 1 inch, you will destroy it. This is the most important battle you will fight all winter. Eventually you give up. You swing your legs over the edge of the bench. The floor is oak planks laid directly on frozen mud. You do not put your feet down. You reach around blindly until you find your socks. They are made of 3 layers of felt. They smell so bad that last month a wolf came into the camp, sniffed at the barracks door, and left. No one wears armor in winter. Anyone who tells you otherwise has never spent a January on the Rhine. Armor is cold. Armor is heavy. Armor rusts if you so much as look at it sideways. If the Germans attack, we will all run and get our armor. Until then, every single person in this camp, from the lowest recruit to the camp prefect, is walking around in approximately 7 layers of wool, looking like a very grumpy, very well-disciplined sheep. Your first duty of the day is hinge grease. This is the single most important job in the entire Roman Empire. If you do not rub every single wooden hinge in the barracks with goose fat every 3 days, they will freeze solid. If a hinge freezes solid, the centurion will beat you so hard you will not be able to sit down for a week. No one has ever won a battle because they were good at stabbing people, but hundreds of people have been beaten very badly because they forgot to grease a hinge. This is the real history of Rome that no one tells you. You walk the perimeter after that. The wind is coming off the Rhine. It goes straight through all 7 layers of wool like they are not even there. You can see the German village on the other side of the river. You can see their smoke. They are also cold. They also do not want to fight. They are sitting by their own fire, eating their own porridge, and also thinking about how much this sucks. There will be no battle today. There will be no battle tomorrow. There will be no battle at all this winter. Almost no battles ever happened in winter. Everyone was too cold. All the stories you have heard are lies. When you get back to the barracks, it is time to turn the grain. This is another job that sounds like nothing, and is actually the entire foundation of the Roman Empire. If you do not turn every single sack of grain in the granary every 12 days, it will rot. If the grain rots, 2,000 men will starve. If 2,000 men starve, the border falls. If the border falls, the empire falls. And all of it rests on 8 very bored men walking up and down a dark room, turning over sacks one at a time. No one writes this down. All of the history books are about emperors and generals and great battles, but 99% of every person who ever lived spent almost all of their time doing exactly this: sitting somewhere slightly too cold, doing something slightly boring, waiting for time to pass. After lunch, it is mending duty. Every man in the legion is required to be able to mend his own sagum cloak. That cloak is your jacket, your blanket, your raincoat, and your pillow. It weighs 12 pounds. When it is wet, it weighs 25 pounds. It is the single most important thing you own. There is 1 man in every 8-man unit who is unreasonably good at mending cloaks. His name is Marcus. He will not stop telling everyone else they are doing it wrong. Everyone hates Marcus just a little bit, but everyone also secretly brings their cloaks to Marcus to mend when no one is looking. You can fall asleep if you want. No one will mind. You do not have to pay attention. You can leave this running all night. I am not going to yell. There will be no loud sound effect. There will be no plot twist. I'm just going to keep talking about very small, very boring things that happened a very long time ago. The bone needle makes a very soft sound when it goes through thick wool. You do not have to think about it. Your hands know what to do. You can sit here for 3 hours stitching and not think a single thought. This is not boredom. This is peace. You will not experience this kind of peace ever again once you go back to your real life. For right now, you are just sitting by a fire. The fire smells like burnt peat and wet dog, and the pair of boots that Gaius is drying much too close to the flames. Outside, the wind howls. Nothing bad is going to happen. Once every 3 days, you grind grain. This is the worst job in the camp. It is also the best job in the camp. It is terrible because after 2 hours, your arms will ache so bad you cannot lift a cup. It is the best job because no one will talk to you. You can stand there turning the stone for 4 entire hours and no one will ask you for anything. No one will tell you that you are doing something wrong. No one will bother you at all. Most men will pretend to be sick to get out of other duties. Most men will pretend to be sick to get grain grinding duty. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it is already completely dark. It will not be light again for another 16 hours. No one really knows what to do with all this time. Sometimes someone will tell a story. Most of the stories are lies. Sometimes someone will dice for turnips. No one gambles for money. Money is useless here. The only currency that matters is turnips, extra firewood, and not having to grease the hinges next week. The centurion comes in once an hour to check on everyone. Everyone pretends to be working. He pretends to believe them. He is just as bored as you are. If you slip him an extra half cup of porridge, he will pretend not to see you skip the last watch of the night. He will also not tell anyone that you saw him last week sneaking an entire side of salted pork back to his quarters. You will do almost exactly this same day, tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, for 147 more days. Then the snow will melt. Then the river will thaw. Then someone will decide it is time to have a battle. But not today. Today there is only porridge and stitching and wind and fire. Nothing exciting is going to happen. You are safe. You can relax. No one ever talks about the latrine. This is the single most defining experience of a Roman winter on the Rhine. The latrine is 72 paces from the barracks door. That is 72 paces of wind and snow and ice, and every single one of those paces is the worst thing that will happen to you all day. You will hold it for 6 hours. You will hold it until your ribs hurt. You will lie to yourself that you do not actually need to go. Eventually you will give up. You will run. You will run as fast as you can on ice. You will not put your hood up because you cannot see where you are going. You will get back and you will not be able to feel your ears for 20 minutes. And then 3 hours later, you will have to do it all again. There's a very old veteran in the camp who has carved himself a chamber pot out of oak. He is the single most respected man in the entire legion. Men will give him half their porridge just for the privilege of borrowing it for 10 minutes. The centurion knows about it. The camp prefect knows about it. No one says a word. Some rules are more important than other rules. Once every 10 days, there is bread. This is a holiday. No one works on bread day. Even the optio stops yelling. 4 men will get up before dawn and light the oven. The entire camp will smell like baking bread for 12 hours. You will stand in line for an hour and a half in the snow, and you will not complain. You will get 1 loaf. It is heavy and warm and slightly burnt on the bottom. It is the best thing you will ever eat. You will eat half of it before you even get back to the barracks. You will hide the other half under your blanket. You will check on it every 15 minutes to make sure no one has stolen it. No one will ever tell you this, but the Roman Empire was not held together by discipline or armor or good generalship. It was held together by the fact that for almost 1,000 years, a Roman soldier got a warm loaf of bread every 10 days, and almost no one else anywhere in the world did. Sometimes at night, someone will start a rumor. The rumor is always the same. Next week, they're going to issue bacon. Everyone knows the rumor is a lie. Everyone has heard the exact same rumor every single winter for the last 12 years. No one will say that. Everyone will pretend to believe it. For 3 days, everyone will be just a little bit happier. Then no bacon will arrive. Everyone will pretend to be surprised. Everyone will complain very loudly. And then 2 weeks later, someone will start the rumor again. This is how you get through the winter. You do not hope for big things. You hope for small, impossible things. You have a dog. No one knows where he came from. He showed up 3 winters ago and never left. He is not a camp dog. He is not a guard dog. He does not do guard dog. He does not do anything at all. He will walk from fire to fire and lie down exactly in the warmest spot, and no one will ever move him. Even the centurion will step around him. Once last winter, a German raiding party crossed the river at night. They snuck past the first watch. They snuck past the second watch. They got all the way to the barracks wall. Then they saw the dog lying in the snow. They stopped. They looked at him. They turned around and went back across the river. No one will ever admit this, but that dog is the entire reason this outpost still exists. Once a month, you have to clean your armor. This is the most hated job in the entire world. You will carry it out into the sun if there is sun, which there almost never is. You will rub it with oil and sand and rags for 3 hours. You will get every single spot of rust off, and then you will carry it back inside, and before you have even hung it up on the nail, there will already be a new spot of rust. Everyone knows this is completely pointless. Everyone knows that if you actually need the armor, you will not have time to clean it anyway. But you still do it, because that is the rule. Because this centurion will beat you. Because sometimes doing a completely pointless thing very slowly is the easiest way to pass an afternoon. You will notice that I have not mentioned any battles. I have not mentioned any emperors. I have not mentioned any great events. That is because none of those things existed here. For 5 months of the year, this place was outside of history. Nothing important happened. Nothing important would happen. All that existed was fire, and bread, and wind, and the quiet, unspoken agreement that no one was going to be an asshole today if they could help it. Most people think that boredom is a bad thing. Most people have never had enough boredom to realize what a gift it is. Boredom means no one is trying to kill you. Boredom means nothing bad is happening. Boredom means you get to sit and stitch and watch the fire and not think about anything at all. Right now in Rome, there are senators plotting and poisoning and stabbing each other. Right now, there are generals fighting battles. Right now, there are kings making treaties. And every single one of those men would give everything they own to trade places with you right now, sitting here cold and bored and completely safe by a fire on the edge of the world. It is 7:30 at night. There are still 14 hours until dawn. Gaius has fallen asleep with his boots on. Marcus is still mending cloaks. The dog has stolen a piece of pork and is hiding under the bench. Outside, the wind is still howling exactly the same way it was howling this morning. Exactly the same way it will be howling tomorrow. Nothing has changed. Nothing will change. You are safe. You do not have to go anywhere. You do not have to do anything. Every hour on the hour, the watch changes. You will hear the tap of a spear on stone very far away. Then another one a little closer. Then one right outside the door. No one looks up. No one cares. It has happened every single hour for the last 120 years. It will happen every single hour for another 120 years after you are gone. It is the heartbeat of the camp. If it ever stopped, you would notice before you even thought about it. Once a week, you have to parade. This is the most ridiculous tradition of all. At noon exactly, everyone will put on their armor, and their helmet, and their shield, and they will march out into the snow and stand in formation for exactly 12 minutes. Then they will march back in again and take it all off. There's no point to this. No one inspects you. No one inspects watch. The centurion will stand in the doorway wrapped in 3 cloaks and yell at you to stand up straight. And then he will go back inside. Everyone knows this is completely stupid. Everyone hates it more than digging out the latrine. But everyone still does it. Because if you stop doing the stupid, pointless things, then all the other things start to fall apart too. There is a man in the 6th cohort called Lucius who carves dice out of bone. He is the richest man in the entire camp. He does not have any money, but he has dice. Everyone owes Lucius something. Everyone hates Lucius. Everyone also brings him extra bread and extra pork because if you make Lucius angry, he will not let you borrow dice. Last winter, Lucius won a goat. No one knows where the goat came from. No one asked. For 3 weeks, the goat lived in the barracks. It slept by the fire. It ate everyone's bread. The centurion knew about it. The camp prefect knew about it. No one said a word. Then one day, the goat walked out the gate and across the Rhine and never came back. Everyone was a little bit sad for a week. Sometimes someone will start a rumor that there is a ghost. The rumor says that there is a sentry who froze to death on watch 70 years ago, and he still locks the perimeter. Everyone says the rumor is stupid. Everyone says they do not believe it. But if you are on watch at 3 o'clock in the morning and you hear footsteps behind you, you will not turn around. No one ever turns around. It is much easier to just pretend you did not hear anything. Once every 2 months, the prefect will make a speech. He will stand on the steps of the headquarters and he will talk about glory and honor and Rome. Everyone will stand there and listen. No one will be listening. Everyone will be thinking about porridge and firewood and whether the supply wagon will come this week. When he is finished, everyone will cheer very loudly. Then everyone will go back to the barracks and complain about him for an hour. No one actually dislikes the prefect. He is a fairly decent man as prefects go. He once canceled latrine duty for a whole week after the supply wagon was late. But complaining about the prefect is another one of those things that you just do. It helps pass the time. You will learn that there are 2 types of cold. There is the cold that gets into your skin. That is the bad cold. You can run and jump and chop wood, and you can get rid of that one. Then there is the cold that gets into your bones. That is the good cold. You cannot get rid of that one. You can sit right up against the fire and you will still feel it. But once you have it, you stop noticing it. It becomes part of you. And when you have that cold, you can stay outside for hours. You can walk the perimeter twice and you will not even think about it. All the old men have that cold. They walk around in the snow with no hood on like it is a warm summer day. All the new recruits are scared of them. Sometimes you will wake up in the middle of the night and everyone else will be awake. No one will be talking. No one will have turned the light up. Everyone will just be lying on their benches staring at the ceiling. No one will say why. Everyone knows why. Sometimes it just happens. For half an hour, no one will sleep. Then someone will cough. Then someone will throw another log on the fire. Then one by one, everyone will fall asleep again. No one will mention it in the morning. It is one of those things that you do not talk about. Once every 3 weeks, there is a supply wagon. This is the single most exciting thing that will happen all winter. You will see the snow kicked up by the wheels 3 hours before it arrives. The entire camp will stop what they are doing. Everyone will lean on the wall and watch it come. No one will admit they are excited. Everyone will pretend they do not care. The supply wagon almost never brings anything good. It will bring more grain, more nails, more grease. It will almost never bring the wine that was promised. It will almost never bring the new socks that were requested 6 months ago. But sometimes, very, very rarely, it will bring something wonderful. Once last winter, it brought 3 jars of honey. No one knows why. No one ever explained it. For 3 days, the entire camp was almost happy. Men would trade a whole loaf of bread for one single finger dip of honey. The centurion himself stood in line like everyone else. For a week afterwards, everyone still had sticky fingers and no one complained about anything. Sometimes the wagon will bring letters. Most of the time it will not. If you get a letter, you will be the most important man in the camp for the rest of the day. Everyone will gather around and make you read it out loud 3 times. It does not matter what the letter says. It could say your mother is annoyed that you have not written back. It could say your cousin got married. It is news from another world. It is proof that somewhere beyond the frozen river, there are places where it does not snow, where people do things that are not mending cloaks and turning grain. If you do not get a letter, you will pretend you do not mind. You will pretend you did not expect one anyway. And that night you will go and stand by the gate for 10 minutes and stare down the road. No one will mention it. Everyone has done exactly the same thing. There is one punishment that is worse than any beating. Worse than extra duty, worse than extra duty, worse than anything the centurion can possibly do to you. If you are very, very bad, they will make you be the cook. No one wants to be the cook. The cook has to get up 2 hours before everyone else. The cook gets blamed for everything. If the porridge is too thin, it is the cook's fault. If the porridge is too thick, it is the cook's fault. If there is not enough porridge, it is the cook's fault. Even if it is snowing and the wind blew the fire out, it is still the cook's fault. The only good thing about being the cook is you get to pick the best bits of pork. Everyone knows this. Everyone hates the cook just a little bit for it. And every single man in the camp would secretly sell his own shield to be the cook. You will learn a lot of things in the winter. You will learn that 4 good pieces of firewood are worth more than gold. You will learn that if you tuck the bottom of your cloak into your belt, you will stay warm for almost 20 minutes longer. You will learn that the wind always sounds much worse than it actually is. You will learn that if you close your eyes and breathe very slowly, you can make 10 minutes last an hour. You will learn that the worst boredom is better than the best excitement. Most of all, you will learn that almost anything can be endured if you do not have to endure it alone. No one here likes each other very much. You will argue about turnips and firewood and who stole the last piece of bread. You will complain about each other constantly. You will tell terrible lies about each other to the centurion. But if one of you falls through the ice, everyone will run. If one of you is sick, everyone will share their bread. If one of you does not come back from watch, everyone will go out looking for him, even if it is the middle of the night and the wind is strong enough to knock a man over. There is no great brotherhood of the legion. No one will die for glory. No one will die for Rome. But every single one of you will die for each other, and none of you will ever say it out loud. Sometimes very late at night when the fire has burned down to embers, someone will tell a true story. Not the lies about battles. Not the lies about heroism. A real story. He will tell you about the winter the snow was so deep they could not open the barracks door for 12 days. He will tell you about the year the supply wagon never came at all, and they ate the camp dogs. He will tell you about the man who walked 3 miles through a blizzard just to bring back a single duck. You will all sit very quiet and listen. No one will say anything when he is done. No one will have to. Once in a very long while, you will see a traveler. They will come down the road wrapped in so many cloaks you could not even see their face. They will knock on the gate and ask for shelter. You will let them in. You will always let them in. It does not matter if they are a merchant or a beggar, or even a German from the other side of the river. There is only one rule in winter. No one stays outside after dark. They will sit by the fire for the night. They will not talk much. You will not talk much. In the morning, they will leave. You will never see them again. You will never learn their name, but you will remember them, for some reason, for the rest of your life. There are days when the snow falls so soft and so thick that the whole world goes quiet. There is no wind. There is no sound. You can stand on the wall and yell, and you will not even hear your own voice come back to you. On those days, time stops. You could stand there for 5 minutes or 5 hours, and you would not be able to tell the difference. On those days, it is very easy to believe that the rest of the world has vanished, that it was only ever this camp, and this fire, and this snow, and nothing else ever existed at all. You will start to count the days after midwinter. No one will admit they are counting. Everyone is counting. You will scratch a little mark into the wall behind your bench. You will make sure no one sees it. Every morning you will add another one. You will not count up to spring. You will count down. 112, 111, 111, 110. Some days you will forget and you will have to count them all again. Some days you will add 2 just to make yourself feel better. No one will ever tell you, but this is the single most important job of all. This is how you win the winter. You do not beat it. You do not fight it. You just outlast it. One day at a time. One mark on the wall at a time. Sometimes you will sit by the fire and wonder what the people in the future will remember about you. You will wonder if they will write books about the battles. You will wonder if they will make statues of the emperors. And you will know deep down that they will forget almost everything. They will forget the names of the generals. They will forget the names of the legions. They will forget all the battles and all the treaties and all the great speeches. But you will also know, somewhere, deep down, that they will remember this. They will remember sitting by a fire while the wind howls outside. They will remember being bored and warm and safe with people you do not really like but would die for anyway. They will remember what it feels like to wait for spring. 2,000 years from now, someone will be sitting in a room somewhere, listening to someone talk about you, and they will feel exactly the same way you feel right now. And for just 1 second, you will both be sitting by the same fire. Gaius just snored very loudly. Marcus threw a piece of straw at him. The dog just farted, and no one has said anything because no one wants to admit it was not them. Outside, the snow is still falling. It is now 10:37 in the evening. There are still 11 hours and 23 minutes until dawn. Nothing has happened. Nothing will happen. There will be no surprise attack. There will be no great speech. There will be no twist. There will be no jump scare. I am not going to yell. I am not going to suddenly start talking about something else. We are just going to sit here for as long as you want. You can fall asleep. You can leave this running all night. You can leave it running for 3 days. Nothing is going to change. You are safe. You are now entering the 3rd month of winter. You have not seen grass in 79 days. You have not seen a tree with leaves in 83 days. You have not heard a bird sing in 67 days. No one is counting out loud, but everyone knows these numbers exactly. There is a man in the 4th cohort called Quintus, who has started keeping track of how many times he has put on and taken off his socks. He is up to 214. He tells everyone this every single morning. Everyone pretends to be annoyed. Everyone also secretly admires him for it. Once every 17 days, there is cheese. This is not good cheese. It is hard and salty and smells slightly like feet, but it is cheese. And for one day, the entire camp will be almost happy. Men will trade half their bread ration for one small piece. The centurion will stand at the back of the line, pretending he does not care, and then take 2 pieces when no one is looking. There is an unspoken rule that if you see the centurion taking extra cheese, you look away very quickly. If you do not look away quickly enough, he will make you clean the latrine for a week. There is a wall inside your head that you build during winter. On one side of the wall is everything that matters: fire, bread, socks, porridge, turnips, firewood. On the other side is everything else: glory, honor, Rome, duty, future, past. All of those things still exist. You just choose not to think about them. If you think about them too much, you will start to remember what summer felt like, and then you will go mad. So, you build the wall. You feed the fire. You turn the grain. You mend the cloak. And you do not look over the wall. Sometimes someone will bring out a board game. No one knows where it came from. It is carved into a piece of wood, and the pieces are made of bone. No one knows the rules. Every time someone plays, they make up new rules. Halfway through the game, someone always accuses someone else of cheating. There is always a fight. The board always gets knocked over. And then everyone goes back to staring at the fire. No one ever puts the board away. It just sits there on the bench until next time. There is a rumor that last year, a soldier went mad and walked out into the snow without his cloak. No one knows if it is true. Everyone says it is not true. But sometimes late at night, when the wind is howling, everyone will glance at the door just to make sure it is still closed. There is one thing that everyone does without talking about it. Every single man in the camp has picked a spot on the wall, a crack in the stone, a knot in the wood, a mark left by a nail, something small, something meaningless. And every day when they wake up, they look at it. Just for a second. Just to make sure it is still there. If it was gone, they would not know what to do. Once every 6 weeks, the Octio will announce that today is inspection day. Everyone knows this is a lie. There is no inspection. The camp prefect is not coming. The legate is not coming. No one is coming. But everyone will spend the entire day cleaning anyway. They will sweep the floor even though there is nothing on it. They will polish their helmets even though they are not going to wear them. They will fold their blankets exactly 8 times even though no one is watching. It is not about being ready. It is about pretending that something matters. Sometimes you will wake up and realize you have forgotten what green looks like. Not the word, the actual color. You will try to picture grass. You will try to picture trees. You will try to picture the sky in summer. And you will not be able to do it. You will ask the man next to you what green looks like. He will say he does not know either. Then Marcus will say it looks like the mold on last week's bread, and everyone will laugh, and suddenly it will not matter anymore. There is a bucket in the corner of the barracks that no one ever empties. It is supposed to be for washing. No one washes in winter. The water freezes before you can get your hands wet, so the bucket just sits there. Every few days someone throws something in it. A broken cup, a torn rag, a dead mouse. No one talks about the bucket. No one ever looks at it directly, but everyone knows exactly what is in it. If you were to empty it right now, you would find 17 broken cups, 9 torn rags, 3 dead mice, 1 boot with no laces, 2 dice, a wooden spoon, and a letter that no one ever sent. Once a month, someone will suggest that they should write a letter home. Everyone will agree that this is a good idea. Everyone will get out their wax tablets. Everyone will stare at them for 20 minutes. Then everyone will put them away again. No one ever writes the letter. No one knows what to say. How do you explain to someone what it feels like to sit in the same room for 90 days? How do you explain that you are bored but also completely content? How do you explain that you hate everyone here, but you would die for them? You cannot explain it, so you do not try. There is a patch of floor near the fire that is always slightly warmer than everywhere else. Everyone knows about it. No one ever sits there. It is reserved for the oldest man in the barracks. Right now, that is Decimus. He is 53 years old. He has been in the Legion for 32 years. He has never once raised his voice. He has never once complained. He sits in the warm spot every night and stares into the fire and says nothing. Everyone respects him. Everyone brings him extra bread. Everyone moves out of his way. No one knows why. He has never done anything impressive. He has never won a battle. He has never saved anyone's life. He is just old. And somehow, that is enough. Sometimes at night you will hear singing. It is always very far away. It is always very quiet. No one knows where it comes from. Some say it is the Germans across the river. Some say it is ghosts. Some say it is the wind. No one ever goes to find out. It is much better not to know. Once every winter, there is a day when the sun comes out. Not just light. Actual sun. You will wake up and the light will be different. It will be gold instead of gray. You will run outside without your cloak. You will stand in the snow and tilt your face up and close your eyes. For 10 minutes, you will forget where you are. For 10 minutes, you will remember what warmth feels like. And then the clouds will come back and it will be gray again. And you will go back inside and no one will mention it for the rest of the day. There is a game that everyone plays without calling it a game. You pick a job. Any job. Turning grain, mending cloaks, greasing hinges, and you try to do it as slowly as possible without actually stopping. The winner is the person who can make 1 sack of grain last 4 hours. The prize is bragging rights and possibly an extra piece of bread if you are lucky. No one ever admits they are playing. Everyone pretends they are working very hard. The centurion knows. He watches. He never says anything. Sometimes he will even give the winner a nod. That nod is worth more than any medal. You have started dreaming in wool. Not about wool. In wool. Your dreams are slow. They are heavy. They press down on you like a blanket. You dream about stitching. You dream about folding. You dream about walking the perimeter in circles. When you wake up, you are not sure if you are awake or still dreaming. It does not matter. Both are the same. There is a crack in the ceiling above your bench. You have memorized every curve of it. You have named it. Its name is Felix. You talk to Felix sometimes. Not out loud, just in your head. You tell Felix about your day. You tell Felix about the porridge. You tell Felix about Gaius snoring. Felix never answers. That is fine. You do not expect him to. Once every 2 weeks, the dog will disappear. No one knows where he goes. He will be gone for exactly 1 day. He will come back covered in snow and smelling like pine trees. No one asks where he has been. No one follows him. Everyone knows that some mysteries are better left unsolved. There is a shelf in the back of the granary that no one is supposed to touch. On that shelf, there are 3 jars. No one knows what is in them. No one has ever opened them. The rumor is that they contain summer. Real summer. Grass and flowers and bees and warm wind. The rumor is that if you open one, the smell will drive you mad with longing. No one has ever tried. Everyone is too scared. Also, the jars are probably just full of pickled turnips. But it is nicer to believe in the summer. Sometimes you will catch yourself humming. You will not know what song it is. You will not know where it came from. You will hum for 5 minutes and then stop and no one will say anything. The next day, someone else will be humming the same tune. No one will admit they heard you. No one will admit they are copying you. But the tune will spread. By the end of the week, everyone will be humming it. No one will know why. Once a year, there is a competition. The competition is to see who can go the longest without complaining. The rules are simple. If you complain about anything, you are out. The prize is a whole loaf of bread and the right to sleep in the warmest spot for one night. The competition never lasts more than 3 hours. Someone always complains about the porridge. Then everyone laughs and eats the bread anyway. It is not about winning. It is about pretending that you could win if you wanted to. You have started noticing things you never noticed before. The way the smoke curls when it hits the ceiling. The exact sound a needle makes when it passes through wool. The pattern the frost makes on the inside of the window. These things did not exist before winter. Or maybe they did and you just never saw them. Now they are the most important things in the world. There is a pair of boots in the corner that no one owns. Everyone denies they are theirs. Everyone also uses them. If your boots are wet, you leave them by the fire and take the mystery boots. When your boots are dry, you put them back and someone else takes them. No one knows where the boots came from. No one knows how old they are. They have patches on patches on patches. They should have fallen apart years ago. But they keep going. Just like everyone else. Sometimes late at night when everyone is asleep, you will sit up and listen. You will listen to the wind. You will listen to the fire. You will listen to the breathing of 7 other men. And you will realize that this is the most peaceful moment of your entire life. You will not tell anyone. You will lie back down and go to sleep. But you will remember it. Forever. There is a story that everyone knows, but no one tells out loud. The story is about the winter that never ended. The story says that one year the snow kept falling and the wind kept blowing and spring never came. The story says that the men waited and waited and waited until they forgot what they were waiting for. The story says that they are still there, sitting by the fire, mending their cloaks, turning their grain, waiting. No one believes the story. Everyone tells it to themselves anyway, just in case. You have stopped thinking in days. You think in loaves of bread now. 5 loaves ago, 3 loaves ago, 2 loaves from now. Time is measured in warm things, in full bellies, in dry socks. In moments when the wind stops howling for just long enough to let you breathe. There's a nail on the wall next to the door. Every time someone leaves the barracks, they tap it with their finger. No one knows why. No one started it. It has always been there. If you forget to tap it, everyone will yell at you. Not because it matters. Because forgetting means you are not paying attention. And not paying attention is how you freeze to death. Once a month, someone will suggest that they should clean the roof. Everyone will agree that this is a terrible idea. Everyone will also agree that it needs to be done. 4 men will go up there with shovels. They will spend 3 hours throwing snow off the edge. They will come back down blue with cold and covered in ice. Everyone will give them extra porridge. No one will ever thank them. That is fine. They did not do it to be thanked. They did it because someone had to. There is a cup that no one drinks from. It sits on the shelf above the fire. It is cracked. It is chipped. It is stained. No one knows whose it is. No one ever uses it. But if you were to take it down and hold it, you would feel something. You would feel all the hands that have held it before you. All the men who sat right where you are sitting now. All the men who stared into the same fire. All the men who waited for the same spring. The cup is older than the camp. It is older than the empire. It will still be here long after you are gone. And someone else will sit where you are sitting now and hold it and feel you. There is a space between breaths that you have learned to stretch. You breathe in, you hold it, you let it out. Slowly, very slowly. If you do it right, you can make one breath last a full minute. If you do it right, you can make time stop. If you do it right, you can make the whole world pause just for you. No one taught you this. You just figured it out, like everyone else before you, like everyone else after you. You are not special. You are not important. You are just one more man sitting by a fire on the edge of the world. And that is enough. More than enough. Guys just woke up and asked what day it is. No one answered. Marcus threw another piece of straw at him. The dog rolled over in his sleep. Outside, the snow is still falling. It is now 11:49 at night. There are still 10 hours and 11 minutes until dawn. Nothing has happened. Nothing will happen. I am still here. I am still talking. You are still listening. Or maybe you are asleep. Or maybe you are somewhere else entirely. It does not matter. We are still here together, by the fire, in the snow, on the edge of the world, waiting. The fourth month of winter arrives like a thief, not with noise, not with drama, just with a single extra minute of darkness that no one notices until they do. You wake up and the world is blacker than yesterday. You go to bed and the world is blacker than this morning. Somewhere in between, the sun has decided to take a longer nap. No one complains. Everyone understands. The sun is tired too. There is a man called Publius who has started collecting ice crystals. He scrapes them off the inside of the barracks window with his thumbnail and puts them in a small wooden box. Every night he counts them. He has 347. He tells everyone this every night. No one cares about ice crystals. But everyone also knows that Publius needs something to care about or he will disappear. So everyone lets him count. One night, Publius loses one. He spends 3 hours looking for it. Everyone pretends to help. No one finds it. Publius sits by the fire and stares into nothing for 20 minutes. Then Marcus hands him a piece of straw and says this is a special ice crystal that only grows in fire. Publius takes it. He puts it in his box. He counts 448. No one says a word. There is a smell that comes with deep winter. It is not the smell of smoke. It is not the smell of wet wool. It is the smell of time. Of days stacked on days. Stacked on days. Of the same breath exhaled 1,000 times. Of the same fire burning in the same spot for so long that the stones have changed color. If you close your eyes and breathe in, you will smell it. If you close your eyes and breathe out, you will become it. There is a tradition that no one remembers starting. Every night before sleep, someone must tell a lie. Just one. It does not have to be a big lie. It does not have to be clever. Gaius says his mother was a queen. Everyone laughs. Marcus says he once killed a bear with his bare hands. Everyone laughs harder. Decimus says he is only 40 years old. No one laughs. Everyone just stares at him. Then everyone laughs because they have to. The lie is not the point. The lie is a reminder that there is a world outside this room. That there are things that are not fire and grain and wool. That imagination still exists. That tomorrow is not guaranteed to be the same as today. Once every 10 days, the wind changes direction. This is the most important weather event of the entire winter. When the wind comes from the east, it brings dry cold. That is bearable. When the wind comes from the west, it brings wet cold. That is unbearable. Wet cold gets inside everything. It gets inside your cloak. It gets inside your boots. It gets inside your thoughts. For 3 days after a west wind, everyone is miserable. Everyone snaps at each other. Everyone argues about stupid things. The porridge is too thin. The fire is too small. Someone stole someone else's sock. No one actually stole anyone's sock, but someone has to be blamed. Then the wind turns east again, and everything goes back to normal. Everyone pretends nothing happened. No one apologizes. No one needs to. There is a crack in the floor near the door that whistles when the wind blows. No one has ever tried to fix it. Everyone likes the whistle. It tells you when the wind is coming. It tells you when the wind is strong. It tells you when the wind is weak. It is like a second heartbeat. If the whistle ever stops, everyone will panic. Not because the crack matters, because silence means something is wrong. You have started to notice that everyone has a sound. Gaius snores like a saw cutting wood. Marcus breathes like a slow river. Decimus is completely silent. Publius clicks his tongue when he thinks. The dog sighs every time he lies down. You yourself make a sound you did not know you made. A very small hum. Low. Constant. You make it whenever you're stitching. You only noticed it because someone else pointed it out. You stopped for 3 days just to prove you could. Then you started again without noticing. You cannot stop. It is part of you now. There is a superstition about the fire. If the fire goes out completely, everyone must leave the room. No one lights it again. Someone must walk all the way to the headquarters building and bring back a coal from the prefect's personal fire. Only that coal can relight the barracks fire. This has never happened. Everyone is terrified it will happen. The fire has not gone out in 60 years. But every night, someone throws an extra log on just in case. No one admits they are doing it. Everyone is doing it. There is a game called Shadow Fingers. You hold your hand up to the fire and make shapes with your fingers. The shadows on the wall become animals, birds, dogs, horses, monsters. Everyone plays. Even the centurion, even Decimus. One night, Marcus makes a shadow that looks exactly like the prefect. Everyone laughs so hard someone falls off their bench. The centurion walks in. Everyone stops laughing. The centurion looks at the shadow. The centurion walks out. No one knows if he saw. Everyone pretends he did not. There is a jar of salt that sits on the shelf above the fire. It is communal salt. Everyone uses it. Everyone also steals from it. Just a pinch. Just enough to make the porridge taste like something. The jar is supposed to last all winter. It will not last all winter. Everyone knows this. Everyone steals anyway. If you are caught stealing salt, you must do everyone's latrine duty for a week. No one has ever been caught. Everyone knows who steals the most. It is Gaius. Gaius will never admit it. Everyone lets him keep stealing because Gaius is funny. And if you punish Gaius for too long, he stops being funny and then everyone is just miserable. There is a belief that if you dream about fire, you will have a good day. If you dream about water, you will have a bad day. If you dream about nothing, you will have a boring day. Boring days are the best days. Everyone lies about their dreams. Everyone says they dreamed about fire. No one admits they dreamed about nothing. Dreaming about nothing is a sign that winter is winning. You do not want winter to win, so you lie. You say fire. Everyone nods. Everyone understands. There is a shelf that no one is allowed to sit under. It is held up by two wooden posts. One of the posts is rotten. Everyone knows it is rotten. No one has told the centurion. If you tell the centurion, he will make everyone fix it. Fixing it means going outside in the snow. No one wants to go outside in the snow, so the shelf stays. Everyone walks around it. Everyone avoids sitting under it. If you absolutely must sit there, you sit very quickly and you do not lean back. The shelf has not fallen yet. The shelf will fall eventually. Everyone knows this. Everyone also knows that when it falls, it will fall on Gaius, because Gaius is the only person stupid enough to sit under it. There is a story about a legionary from 200 years ago who was stationed at this exact same camp. His name was Titus. He carved his name into the wall above the fire. You can still see it. The letters are worn. The letters are faint, but they are there. Titus. You run your finger over it sometimes when no one is looking. You wonder what Titus was like. You wonder if he was bored. You wonder if he counted the days. You wonder if he talked to a crack in the ceiling. You wonder if he waited for spring. You will carve your own name there too. Not yet. Not until spring is close. When spring comes, you will carve it next to Titus. And 200 years from now, someone else will run their finger over both names and wonder the same things about you. There is a rhythm to winter that you cannot explain. It is not the rhythm of the watch. It is not the rhythm of the fire. It is deeper than that. It is the rhythm of your own body learning to slow down. Your heartbeat gets slower. Your breathing gets slower. Your thoughts get slower. By the 4th month, you are moving like honey. Everything you do takes twice as long. You do not mind. You could not speed up if you tried. The winter has you, and you have the winter. There is a belief that if you say the word spring out loud too early, you will curse the winter to last forever. No one says the word. Not until midwinter has passed. Not until the days start getting longer. Even then, people whisper it. Even then, people say it only once. And only when the fire is burning strong. You are not allowed to think about spring either. Not really. You can think about warmth. You can think about light. But you cannot think about grass. If you think about grass, you will start to remember what it felt like to walk on it, and then you will go mad. Everyone knows this. Everyone pretends they are not thinking about grass. Everyone is thinking about grass. There is a piece of string that hangs from the ceiling. No one knows where it came from. No one uses it. It just hangs there, swinging very slightly. Always. Even when there is no wind. Everyone has noticed this. No one has said anything. If you stare at the string long enough, it seems to swing in time with your breathing. If you stop breathing, it stops swinging. If you start breathing again, it starts swinging again. This is impossible. Everyone knows it is impossible. Everyone still stares at it. Once every few weeks, someone will try to grab it. They never succeed. It is always just out of reach. The dog watches the string too. He tilts his head. He whines. Then he lies down and goes to sleep. The dog is smarter than all of you. There's a hierarchy in the barracks that has nothing to do with rank. At the top is Decimus. Everyone defers to Decimus. Below Decimus is Marcus. Marcus controls the cloaks. Below Marcus is the cook. The cook controls the food. Below the cook is Publius. Publius controls nothing, but everyone respects him anyway. Below Publius is everyone else. At the very bottom is Gaius. Gaius controls nothing. Gaius is chaos. But Gaius is also the glue. Without Gaius, everyone would be too serious. Without Gaius, everyone would be too serious. Without Gaius, everyone would forget how to laugh. You are somewhere in the middle. You control your own socks. That is enough. There is a night that everyone remembers but no one talks about. 3 weeks ago, the wind was so strong it lifted the roof off the granary. 4 men ran out to fix it. They were gone for 2 hours. When they came back, they were white. Not pale. White, like snow. They did not talk about what happened. They sat by the fire and stared. For 3 days, they did not speak. Then one of them laughed. Then everyone laughed. Then everything went back to normal. No one knows what they saw. Everyone suspects it was nothing. A gust of wind. A loose beam. Something ordinary, but something in their eyes never came back. There is a belief that if you whistle indoors, you will summon the wind. No one whistles indoors. Everyone whistles outdoors. Loudly, proudly. If the wind comes, it was already coming. If it does not come, you have won. You have beaten the wind. For 1 day. There is a cup of water that sits by the fire. It never freezes. Everyone stares at it. It should freeze. The fire is not hot enough to keep it from freezing. But it never freezes. Publius has tested it. He has moved it. He has moved it. He has measured it. It never freezes. No one drinks from it. It is sacred now. It is proof that impossible things exist. It is proof that winter is not all-powerful. It is proof that something warm can survive. There is a sound that the barracks makes at exactly midnight. A creak. Very low, very slow. Like the whole building is stretching. Everyone hears it. Everyone stops breathing. Then it passes. Then everyone breathes again. This has happened every night for 60 years. If it ever stops, everyone will know something has changed. Something fundamental. Something that cannot be undone. You have started to love the creek. You wait for it. You count the minutes until it comes. When it comes, you feel safe. When it does not come, you will feel the opposite. There is a superstition about mirrors. There are no mirrors in the camp. The nearest mirror is 3 days' march away. But if there was a mirror and you looked into it on the longest night of winter, you would not see your own face. You would see the face of someone who will be here after you. Someone who will sit in your spot. Someone who will stare into this same fire. Everyone believes this. No one has tested it. There is no mirror. There never will be. But the story helps. The story says you are not alone. The story says you are part of something longer than yourself. There's a smell that only appears on the coldest nights. It smells like metal, like iron, like old blood. No one knows where it comes from. It is not the armor, it is not the weapons. It comes from the walls, from the stones, from the earth beneath the camp. On the coldest nights, the earth itself bleeds. Everyone smells it. Everyone pretends they do not. If you acknowledge it, the smell gets stronger. If you ignore it, the smell fades. This is the rule. Ignore everything strange. Pretend it is normal. Winter is full of strange things. If you pay attention to all of them, you will never sleep again. There is a belief that if you sleep facing north, you will dream of home. If you sleep facing south, you will dream of war. If you sleep facing east, you will dream of the future. If you sleep facing west, you will dream of the dead. Most men sleep facing the fire. The fire is not north or south or east or west. The fire is here. The fire is now. The fire is now. The fire is enough. There is a man in the third cohort who can predict snow, not by looking at the sky, not by feeling the air. He just knows. 3 days before it snows, he gets quiet. He stops talking. He stops eating. He just sits. When it snows, everyone nods. He was right again. No one knows how he does it. He does not know either. He says his bones tell him. His bones remember every winter he has ever lived through. His bones know what is coming before his mind does. Everyone respects this. Everyone gives him extra blankets before snow. His bones are coldest. His bones need the most help. There is a game where you try to name every tree you have ever seen. Not the type of tree. The actual tree. The specific tree. You start with the tree behind your childhood home. Then the tree by the well. Then the tree on the road to the market. Most men get to 20 before they run out. Decimus gets to 217. No one believes him. Everyone also knows he is probably right. Decimus has walked more roads than anyone. Decimus has seen more trees than anyone. Decimus remembers all of them. There's a piece of bread that has been sitting on the shelf for 3 weeks. It is hard as stone. It is gray as ash. No one has eaten it. No one has thrown it away. It is a promise. A promise that there is always more bread coming. If you eat this bread, there is no promise left. So you leave it. You look at it every day. You know it is there. That is enough. There is a belief that if you eat the last piece of anything, you will curse the supply wagon to be late. Everyone hoards. Everyone hides. Everyone pretends they do not have extra, but everyone has extra. Everyone is waiting for the worst day. The day when there is nothing. The day when you will need what you saved. That day has not come. That day may never come. But you prepare anyway, because winter teaches you one thing above all else. Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. Endure everything in between. There is a sound that only you hear. It is not the wind. It is not the fire. It is not the creak. It is inside your head. A ringing. Very faint. Very constant. You have had it since the first week of winter. You thought everyone heard it. You asked Gaius. Gaius said no. You asked Marcus. Marcus said no. You stopped asking. You decided it was just you. Your own private sound. Your own private winter. Sometimes the ringing gets louder. Sometimes it gets softer. When it gets louder, you know a storm is coming. When it gets softer, you know the storm has passed. You have not told anyone. You do not need to. You know what it means. You trust it. There is a night when everyone falls asleep at the same time. Not gradually, all at once. Like someone blew out a candle. 1 second Gaius is talking. The next second, everyone is gone. You are the last one awake. You stare at them. 7 men. Breathing. Still. Peaceful. For 10 minutes, you are the only conscious thing in the entire camp. You feel powerful. You feel terrified. You feel a no one. You feel connected. Then you fall asleep too. When you wake up, no one remembers. You remember. You will always remember. There is a belief that the barracks remembers. Not the stones, not the wood. The idea of the barracks. Every man who has ever slept here. Every breath. Every word. Every laugh. Every tear. All of it soaked into the walls. If you press your ear against the stone, you can hear them. Not voices. Just the feeling of voices. The echo of 1,000 winters. Everyone has tried it. Everyone says they hear nothing. Everyone also says they feel something. You pressed your ear against the stone last week. You heard nothing. You felt everything. There's a crack in the floor that looks like a river. You have traced it with your finger 100 times. You know every bend. You know every fork. You pretend it is the Rhine. You pretend you are walking along it. In summer, when it is warm, when there are boats, when there are birds, when there is life. You walk it every night before you sleep. You start at the door. You follow the crack. You end at the fire. That is your journey. Every night. The same journey. Every night. The same journey. And every night it feels different. There is a superstition about birds. If a bird lands on the wall, you will receive a letter. If a bird flies over the camp, you will receive good news. If a bird enters the barracks, you will die. No bird has entered the barracks in 60 years. Everyone watches the birds carefully. Everyone knows the rules. Last week, a crow landed on the wall. Everyone waited for a letter. No letter came. Everyone was disappointed. Then the supply wagon arrived early with extra pork. Everyone decided the crow was right after all. There is a man who talks in his sleep, not words, sentences, full paragraphs. He argues with people who are not there. He gives orders. He complains about porridge. He tells jokes. Sometimes he laughs. Sometimes he cries. Everyone listens. It is better than any story anyone tells while awake. You have learned more about this man from his sleep talking than from 3 months of being awake together. He has a wife. He has 3 children. He hates his brother. He loves his dog. He is afraid of the dark. He is not afraid of anything else. There is a tradition of silence. Once a week, for 1 hour, no one speaks. No one moves. No one makes a sound. You just sit. You stare at the fire. You breathe. You exist. The first time it happened, everyone was restless. By the end of the hour, everyone was crying. Not from sadness, from release. All the words, all the noise, all the pretending. Gone for 1 hour, just you and the fire and the silence. Now everyone looks forward to it. Now everyone needs it. There is a belief that if you can sit in silence for 1 full hour without thinking about anything, you will see spring early. No one has managed it. Decimus came close once. He sat for 59 minutes. Then he thought about his wife. He opened his eyes. He sighed. He said almost. Everyone applauded. There is a piece of charcoal that sits by the fire. No one owns it. Everyone uses it. You can draw on the walls with it. Not anywhere. Only on the back wall. Behind the bench. Where no one official ever looks. Over the winter, the wall becomes a map. Not of the real world. Of the world inside your head. Rivers of thought. Mountains of worry. Forests of hope. Cities of memory. By the end of winter, the wall is full. By spring, someone will scrub it clean. And next winter, someone else will start again. There is a sound that the porridge makes when it is done. A very specific bubbling. A very specific thickness. The cook knows it. You know it too now. After 4 months, you know the sound of done porridge better than you know your own name. When you hear it, your stomach growls. When you hear it, your mouth waters. When you hear it, you know that for the next 20 minutes, you will be the happiest person alive. There is a superstition about spoons. If you drop your spoon, you will have bad luck for the rest of the day. If you pick it up with your left hand, the bad luck doubles. If you pick it up with your right hand, the bad luck halves. If you pick it up with both hands, the bad luck transfers to the person next to you. Everyone picks up dropped spoons with both hands. Everyone blames everyone else for their bad luck. There is a belief that the fire has moods. In the morning, it is grumpy. It takes a long time to catch. It smokes. It spits. By noon, it is calm. It burns steady. It gives warmth without complaint. By evening, it is playful. It dances. It crackles. It throws sparks. By midnight, it is tired. It dims. It sighs. It sleeps. Everyone talks to the fire. Not out loud. In their heads. You ask it questions. You tell it secrets. You beg it to stay alive. It never answers. But it never goes out either. There is a man who has not spoken in 11 days. Not because he is punished. Not because he is sick. He just chose not to. Everyone noticed on the first day. Everyone asked on the second day. By the third day, everyone stopped asking. By the 11th day, everyone stopped asking. By the 11th day, everyone forgot. He eats. He sleeps. He works. He just does not speak. No one knows why. No one needs to know why. Some silences are louder than words. There's a game where you try to remember every meal you have ever eaten. Not the taste, the feeling, the warmth, the company. You start with breakfast this morning, then yesterday, then last week, then last month. Most men get to 30 before they lose the thread. You get to 47. Then you hit a wall. A meal you cannot remember. A meal that should be there but is not. You search for it. You dig. You come up empty. That meal is gone. Forever. And somehow that is the saddest thing about winter. Not the cold. Not the boredom. The forgetting. There is a belief that if you remember every meal you have ever eaten, you will never starve. Your body will remember the warmth. Your mind will remember the fullness. And you will survive on memory alone. No one has tested this. Everyone hopes they never have to. There is a shadow on the wall that is not cast by anything. You have checked. There is no object. There is no person. But the shadow is there. Tall. Thin. Standing in the corner. It never moves. It never changes. Everyone has seen it. Everyone pretends they have not. If you stare at it too long, it seems to lean forward. If you look away, it goes back to standing. The dog sees it too. The dog growls at it sometimes. Then the dog lies down and goes to sleep. The dog is smarter than all of you. There is a cup that always has water in it. Not the magic cup by the fire. A different cup, on a different shelf. This cup fills itself. Every morning, without anyone pouring. Without any rain. Just full. Everyone drinks from it. No one questions it. Questioning it might make it stop. There's a rhythm to breathing in winter. You breathe in for 4 counts. You hold for 7. You breathe out for 8. This is not taught. This is discovered. Everyone discovers it independently. Then everyone does it without talking about it. By the 4th month, everyone in the camp is breathing in perfect unison. You can hear it. A wave. In. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. Like the sea. Like the tide. Like something ancient and patient. There is a belief that if everyone breathes together, the cold cannot touch you. The cold needs separation. The cold needs loneliness. If you are together, if you are breathing together, the cold has nowhere to go. This is probably not true, but it feels true. And in winter, feeling true is the same as being true. There is a man who carves faces into pieces of wood. Small faces. Thumb-sized. He has carved 234. He keeps them in a sack under his bench. He never shows them to anyone. One night the sack fell over. Faces spilled everywhere. Everyone stared. They were beautiful. They were sad. They were real. Decimus picked one up. He held it. He said this one looks like spring. Marcus said this one looks like home. Gaius said this one looks like pork. Everyone laughed. The carver gathered them up. He put them back. He never spoke about it. But from that night on, everyone treated him differently, with more respect, with more gentleness. Because now everyone knew. He carries 234 faces inside him. 234 people he has loved and lost. 234 reasons to keep going. There's a sound at dawn that no one can explain. A hum. Very low, very distant, like the earth itself is waking up. It lasts for exactly 3 minutes. Then it fades. Then the sun comes, or tries to. Usually the clouds swallow it, but the hum happens anyway. Every dawn, without fail, you have started to wait for it. You wake up early just to hear it. It is the most beautiful sound you have ever heard. It is the sound of the world remembering how to hope. There is a superstition about names. If you say your own name out loud 3 times in a row, you will forget it. Everyone has tested this. No one has forgotten their name. But everyone still believes. Because the fear is real, even if the magic is not. The fear of losing yourself. The fear of becoming no one. The fear of winter taking not just your warmth, but your identity. There is a piece of cloth that has been passed down for 30 years. It is red. It was brighter once. Now it is faded. Brownish. Thin. But it is still red. The man who owns it says it was his grandfather's. His grandfather carried it through 3 winters. Through 2 wars. Through 1 plague. The cloth never left his side. Now it is here. In your hands. You hold it. You feel the weight of 30 years. Of 3 men. Of 3 lifetimes. You fold it carefully. You give it back. You say nothing. There is nothing to say. There is a belief that if you carry a piece of someone who came before you, they will protect you. Not from the cold, not from the boredom, from forgetting who you are, from becoming just another body in the snow, from disappearing without a trace. The cloth reminds you. The names carved in the wall remind you. The crack in the ceiling reminds you. You are here. You exist. You matter. There's a night when the stars come out, not a few, all of them, more than you have ever seen, more than you have ever seen, more than you thought existed. The clouds break for exactly 11 minutes. The entire camp runs outside. Everyone stares up. No one speaks. No one breathes. For 11 minutes, the universe opens up and shows you how small you are, how tiny, how brief, how precious. Then the clouds come back. Everyone goes inside. No one talks about it for 3 days. Then Gaia says, "You know what I saw up there." Everyone leans in. Gaia says, "I saw pork." Everyone throws things at him. But secretly, everyone is grateful because Gaia's turned 11 minutes of cosmic terror into a joke. And sometimes a joke is the only thing standing between you and madness. There's a rhythm to winter that goes beyond the camp, beyond the fire, beyond the walls. It is the rhythm of the earth itself, slowing, sleeping, dreaming. You are part of that rhythm now. You are not fighting it. You are not resisting it. You are inside it. You are the winter. The winter is you. And when spring comes, you will not leave the winter behind. You will carry it with you, in your bones, in your breath, in the way you sit by any fire and feel instantly at home. There's a belief that every winter leaves a scar, not on your skin, on your soul, a mark, a memory, a lesson. Your scar is patience. You did not have patience before. You had urgency. You had speed. You had ambition. Winter took all of that. Winter gave you something better. Stillness, presence, the ability to sit with discomfort and not run, the ability to wait without suffering, the ability to be bored without dying. These are not small gifts. These are the gifts that make you human. There's a man who writes poetry, not good poetry, bad poetry, terrible poetry. He writes about porridge, about socks, about the sound of Gaia snoring. He reads it aloud once a week. Everyone groans. Everyone also listens, because even bad poetry is proof that beauty exists. Even terrible verses about socks are proof that the human spirit refuses to be crushed. The poet's name is Cassius. Cassius will never be famous. Cassius will die in this camp, but his poems will be memorized, passed down, changed, mangled, loved. There is a cup that Gaius drinks from. It has a chip. Gaius says the chip gives the water flavor. Everyone knows this is nonsense. Everyone also secretly wants a chip in their own cup. A mark. A story. A reason to keep the cup instead of trading it. You look at your cup. It is perfect, smooth, unmarked. You suddenly feel sad. You want a chip. You want a story. You want proof that you have lived. There is a tradition of gratitude. Every night, last thing before sleep, everyone says one thing they are grateful for. It does not have to be big. Gaia says socks. Marcus says fire. Decimus says silence. Publius says ice crystals. You say the crack in the ceiling. Everyone nods. Everyone understands. Gratitude is not about having more. Gratitude is about seeing what you already have. In winter, you have so little, and yet every single thing you have is a miracle. There is a belief that if you are grateful for 100 consecutive nights, winter will end early. No one has made it past 83. Someone always forgets. Someone always gets angry. Someone always breaks the chain. But every winter, someone starts again. From night 1. From gratitude 1. From hope 1. There is a sound that the snow makes when you walk on it. Not crunch. Something softer. Something sadder. Like the snow is sighing. Like the snow is tired. Like the snow is tired. Like the snow wants to melt but cannot. You walk slowly. You listen. You hear it. Sigh. 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 You match your steps to the sighs. You become the snow. You become the tired. You become the tired. You become the waiting. There is a man who has started to believe he is a tree. Not all the time, just sometimes. Late at night, when the fire is low, he stands very still. He closes his eyes. He feels his roots going down through the floor into the earth. He feels his branches reaching up through the ceiling into the sky. He stays like this for 20 minutes. Then he opens his eyes. He sits down. He never speaks about it. But everyone knows. Everyone has seen. No one judges. Because maybe we are all trees. Maybe we are all rooted here. Maybe we are all waiting to bloom. There is a superstition about the number 7. 7 men in a room. 7 layers of wool. 7 days between bread. 7 weeks between cheese. 7 months of winter. Everything is 7. If you break the pattern, something bad will happen. No one knows what. Everyone is too scared to find out. So you keep the 7s. You honor the 7s. You trust the 7s. There is a piece of meat that hangs from the ceiling. Salted pork. It has been there since autumn. It is hard as wood. It smells like time. No one eats it. It is a promise. A promise that there is food. That there will always be food. If you eat it, the promise breaks. So it hangs, rotating very slowly, always like a clock, like a reminder, like a prayer. There is a belief that the pork is watching you, that it knows who has been good, who has been bad, who has stolen salt, who has shared bread, that when spring comes, the pork will tell the gods, and the gods will decide who deserves warmth and who deserves one more winter. This is obviously nonsense, but you still treat the pork with respect. You still nod to it when you walk under it. You still say thank you. There is a night when everyone tells their saddest memory. Not their biggest, not their worst, their saddest. The one that makes you quiet inside. The one you never share. Gaius talks about a dog he had as a boy. Marcus talks about a sister who died. Decimus talks about a field of sunflowers. Publius talks about a window he used to look out of. You talk about a song your mother sang. Everyone cries. Not loudly. Quietly. Tears on cheeks. Tears in firelight. Then Cassius recites a poem. A real one. A good one. About sadness. About winter. About holding on. When he finishes, the fire crackles. Like it is applauding. Like it understands. There is a rhythm to tears in winter. They freeze on your cheeks before they fall. They become tiny crystals. You can feel them. Hard. Cold. Beautiful. You touch your face. You feel them. You do not wipe them away. You let them stay. They are proof. Proof that you can still feel. Proof that you are still alive. Proof that winter has not won. There is a man who has not cried in 20 years. His name is Brutus. Brutus is hard. Brutus is stone. Brutus does not bend. One night during the sadness sharing, Brutus opens his mouth. No words come. His face changes. Something breaks. Tears. Not one. A flood. 20 years of tears. All at once. Everyone sits very still. No one moves. No one speaks. Brutus cries for 10 minutes. Then he stops. He wipes his face. He says nothing. He lies down. He sleeps. The next morning he is stone again. But everyone knows. Everyone saw, and everyone loves him more for it. There is a belief that crying in winter is dangerous. The tears can freeze inside your eyes. You can go blind. This is not true. But everyone still tries to cry quietly. Everyone tries to cry where the fire can reach. Where the warmth can melt the crystals before they form. Where the heat can turn sadness back into steam. There is a cup of tea that appears once a month. Not real tea. A Roman does not have tea. It is boiled herbs, mint, rosemary, something bitter. The old woman from the nearby village brings it. She is not supposed to come inside the camp. She comes anyway. She hands out cups. She says nothing. She leaves. No one knows her name. Everyone calls her grandmother. She has been coming for 20 years. She will keep coming until she cannot. And then someone else will come. And the tea will continue. There's a superstition about grandmother. If you drink her tea and make a wish, the wish will come true. Not right away. Not in winter. In spring. Everyone makes a wish. Gaius wishes for better socks. Marcus wishes for a new cloak. Decimus wishes for one more sunrise. Publius wishes for 1,000 ice crystals. You wished for the crack in the ceiling to stay forever. The tea is bitter. The wish is sweet. There is a sound that grandmother makes when she walks. A shuffle. A rustle. Like dry leaves. Like autumn. Like something that should be gone, but refuses. You hear it coming. You stop what you are doing. You wait. She appears in the doorway, wrapped in brown, smelling like herbs, smiling like the sun. For 5 minutes the camp is warm, not from fire, from her. Then she leaves. The shuffle fades, the warmth fades, but the memory stays. There is a belief that grandmother is immortal, that she has been coming to this camp for 100 years, that she will come for 100 more, that she is not human, that she is winter itself. Kind winter, gentle winter, gentle winter, winter that brings tea instead of tears. Everyone knows this is a story. Everyone believes it anyway, because sometimes you need winter to be kind. Sometimes you need the cold to have a heart. There is a night when the fire speaks, not literally, of course not literally, but the flames form a shape for exactly 3 seconds. A face, your face. You see it, you blink, it is gone. You tell no one. You sit very still. You watch the fire. It does not happen again. But you know the fire sees you. You know the fire knows your name. You know the fire is keeping you alive. There is a rhythm to faith in winter. You do not pray to gods. You do not pray to emperors. You pray to the fire. You pray to the bread. You pray to the crack in the ceiling. You pray to the string that swings. You pray to the shadow in the corner. You pray to everything that stays. Everything that does not leave. Everything that keeps burning. There's a belief that if you stop praying, the fire will go out. So you keep praying, even when you do not believe, even when you are tired, even when you are angry. You pray because the alternative is darkness. And darkness is worse than doubt. There is a man who has started to paint, not with proper paints, with soot, with ash, with the red dust from the fire. He paints on the inside of his cup. Tiny scenes, a field, a river, a house, a woman, a child. He paints every night. For 2 hours, his cup is almost full. By spring, it will be a masterpiece. No one will ever see it. He does not care. He paints for himself. He paints for the woman. He paints for the child. He paints because if he stops, he will forget what they look like. There is a superstition about forgetting. If you forget a face completely, that person dies forever. Not in body, in existence. They become no one. They become nothing. They disappear from the universe. So you remember. You close your eyes. You see them. Every night, you describe them to yourself. The curve of the nose. The color of the eyes. The way the mouth moves when they laugh. You do this so they will live. You do this so you will live. There is a belief that memory is stronger than winter. That no blizzard can erase a face. That no cold can freeze a name. That no darkness can hide a love. You test this every night. You remember, you hold, you keep. Winter tries. Winter fails. You win. There is a night when everyone shares a single memory. Not their own. Someone else's. Gaius tells Marcus's story of the sister. Marcus tells Decimus's story of the sunflowers. Decimus tells Publius's story of the window. Publius tells your story of the song. You tell Gaius's story of the dog. The stories change. They grow. They become better. They become Jared. They become everyone's. By the end, the memories belong to no one and everyone. And that is how you survive. You do not survive alone. You survive together. There is a rhythm to together in winter. You do not touch. You do not hug. You do not cry on each other's shoulders. You just sit close. You just breathe together. You just exist in the same space at the same time. That is enough. That is everything. There is a belief that if 7 men breathe together for 100 nights, they become one. Not literally, spiritually. Their worries become shared. Their fears become shared. Their hopes become shared. You test this. You breathe together, night after night. By night 60, you notice. When Gaius is sad, you feel it. When Marcus is happy, you smile. When Decimus is tired, you yawn. You are connected, not by blood, by breath, by fire, by winter. There is a man who has stopped eating meat. Not for health, not for religion. He just cannot. He says the animals are too cold. He says they suffered. He says he will not take from them. Everyone thinks he is mad. Everyone also respects him. He eats only porridge, only turnips, only bread. He is thin, he is weak, but he is pure. And in winter, purity is its own kind of strength. There is a superstition about vegetarians. If you do not eat meat in winter, the animals will protect you. When the blizzard comes, they will guide you. When the hunger comes, they will feed you. When the death comes, they will carry you. No one knows if this is true. The vegetarian is still alive. That is all the proof anyone needs. There is a night when the blizzard comes, not the usual wind, a real blizzard, white, thick, blind. The world disappears. You cannot see the door. You cannot see the wall. You can only see white. Everyone gathers by the fire. Everyone holds hands, not for warmth, for connection, for proof that you are still here, for proof that you have not disappeared into the white. You hold, you breathe, you wait. The blizzard lasts 6 hours. When it passes, you look at each other. You are all still here. You are all still real. You let go. You say nothing. What is there to say? There's a belief that blizzards are tests. Winter testing you, asking you, are you still here? Are you still strong? Are you still together? If you answer yes, winter will give you a gift. If you answer no, winter will take you. You answered yes. The gift comes the next morning. A deer, standing by the gate, dead, frozen, perfect. No one knows how it got there. No one questions it. Everyone eats. For 3 days, everyone eats fresh meat. For 3 days, everyone is full. For 3 days, everyone is full. For 3 days, everyone believes. There is a rhythm to belief in winter. You do not believe all the time. You believe in moments. When the tea comes, when the deer appears, when the stars break through, when the fire forms your face. These moments are enough. These moments keep you going. Between them, you doubt. Between them, you struggle. Between them, you endure. But the moments come. And when they come, you hold on. There is a man who has started to sing. Not at night, in the morning, when the light is gray, when the world is cold. He sings a song no one knows. A song from nowhere. A song that sounds like wind, like ice, like waiting. Everyone listens. Everyone wakes up to it. By week 3, everyone is humming it. By week 6, everyone is singing it. By week 9, it is the anthem of the camp. No one knows the words. Everyone makes them up. But the melody is the same. Always. Every morning. Like a heartbeat. Like a prayer. Like a promise that today will be different. Even if it is not. There is a superstition about morning songs. If you sing before the sun rises, the sun will come faster. This is obviously not how the sun works. But every morning you sing, and every morning the sun comes, eventually, slowly, but it comes. And you tell yourself the song helped. You tell yourself their voice pushed the clouds away. You tell yourself you have power, and maybe you do. Maybe belief is power. Maybe singing is prayer. Maybe morning is magic. There is a belief that every morning is a new chance. Not to escape winter, not to change anything, just to try again, to breathe again, to stitch again, to wait again. You do not need grand gestures. You do not need miracles. You just need to wake up. You just need to open your eyes. You just need to tap the nail by the door. And you are alive. And that is enough. There is a man who writes letters to spring. Not real letters. Impossible letters. He writes them on scraps of wood. He burns them in the fire. He says the smoke carries them forward. He says spring will read them. He says spring will hurry. No one believes this. Everyone also hopes it is true. The letters say, please come soon. The letters say we are still here. The letters say, do not forget us. The fire takes them. The smoke rises. The words disappear. And somewhere far away spring reads them. Maybe. There is a rhythm to hope in winter. Hope is not constant. Hope comes in waves. Some days you are full of it. You believe spring is tomorrow. You believe the snow will melt. You believe everything will be warm again. Other days hope is gone. You believe winter will never end. You believe you will die here. You believe no one will remember your name. Both are true. Both are lies. The truth is between. The truth is waiting. There is a belief that if you stop hoping you will freeze. Not your body, your soul. You will become ice. You will become stone. You will become part of the winter itself. So you hope, even when it hurts, even when it is stupid, even when you know it will not change anything. You hope, because hope is the only fire that winter cannot touch. There is a night when Decimus tells the story of his first winter. He was 19. He was new. He was terrified. He cried every night for a month. He wanted to run. He wanted to die. He wanted anything but this. Then one night, an old man sat next to him. The old man said, "You are not cold. You are changing." Decimus did not understand. The old man said, "Winter does not kill you. Winter transforms you. You will leave here different. You will leave here strong. You will leave here ready." Decimus asked, "Ready for what?" The old man said, "Ready for everything." Then the old man died. In his sleep. Peacefully. The next spring, Decimus understood. He had changed. He was not the boy who cried. He was a man who endured. And now Decimus is the old man, and you are the boy. And Decimus is telling you the same story. And somewhere in the future, someone else will tell it to someone else. And the story will never end. There is a rhythm to stories in winter. Stories are not entertainment. Stories are survival. Stories are how you remember who you are. Stories are how you connect to people who are gone. Stories are how you prepare people who are coming. Every night someone tells a story. Some are true. Some are lies. Some are both. You listen. You learn. You become part of the story. And the story becomes part of you. There is a belief that if a story is told enough times, it becomes real. The ghost on the wall becomes real. The deer in the blizzard becomes real. Grandmother becomes real. Spring becomes real. You do not need proof. You need repetition. You need voice. You need firelight. You need each other. And the story lives. There is a man who has memorized every story ever told in this camp. His name is Sylvanus. Sylvanus never forgets. Someone tells a story. Sylvanus repeats it the next night. Word for word. Exactly. If you change one detail, Sylvanus corrects you. Everyone teases him. Everyone also depends on him. Because Sylvanus is the memory of the camp. When everyone else is gone, Sylvanus will remain. And the stories will remain. And the camp will never truly die. There is a superstition about forgetting stories. If you forget a story, the person in the story disappears. Not from history. From existence. They become a gap. A hole. A nothing. So you remember. You tell. You pass on. You keep the dead alive. You keep the past present. You keep the future possible. There is a night when everyone tells the story of the first person they ever loved. Not a spouse. Not a parent. The first. The one who made your heart strange. The one who made the world bigger. Gaius talks about a girl who sold apples. Marcus talks about a boy who carved birds. Decimus talks about a woman who sang. Publius talks about a child who collected stones. You talk about someone you cannot name, someone you barely knew, someone who smiled once and changed everything. Everyone understands. Love does not need names. Love does not need time. Love is a single moment, a single smile, a single winter that becomes forever. There is a rhythm to love in winter. You do not love loudly. You do not love obviously. You love in small ways. You give an extra piece of bread. You share your blanket. You tap the nail by the door for someone else. You remember their story. You sing their song. You keep them warm. That is love in winter. Quiet, steady, unbreakable. There is a belief that love is the only thing that survives winter completely unchanged. Not bodies, not buildings, not memories. Love. Love goes in cold. Love comes out cold. But love is still love. Still burning. Still true. Still waiting. There is a night when the fire burns blue. Just for a moment. Just for 3 seconds, everyone sees it. Everyone gasps. No one explains it. No one tries. Blue fire is a sign from the gods, a sign from the dead, a sign from winter itself. The sign says you are seen, you are known, you are not forgotten. Then the fire turns orange again. Normal, warm, real. But everyone carries the blue in their eyes, in their hearts, in their hope. There is a rhythm to signs in winter. You do not look for them, they find you. A blue fire, a dead deer, a swinging string, a shadow that leans, a cup that fills, a grandmother who shuffles. The signs are everywhere. You just have to be still enough to see them. You just have to be quiet enough to hear them. You just have to be open enough to believe them. There is a belief that winter is not your enemy. Winter is your teacher. Winter teaches patience. Winter teaches gratitude. Winter teaches stillness. Winter teaches love. Winter teaches endurance. Winter teaches that you are stronger than you think. You are braver than you know. You are warmer than you feel. There's a man who has learned to sleep standing up. Not all the way, just dozing. Leaning against the wall. Eyes closed. Body still. He learned this on watch. When sitting meant freezing. When lying meant dying. Now he does it everywhere. During meals. During stories. During silence. Everyone watches him. Everyone envies him. Everyone envies him. Everyone also worries. Because sleeping standing up means you are never fully resting. Sleeping standing up means winter has you so tight you cannot let go. There is a superstition about sleep. If you dream of falling, you will wake up before you hit the ground. If you dream of flying, you will have good luck. If you dream of drowning, you will receive a letter. If you dream of fire, you'll see spring. Everyone dreams of fire. Everyone wakes up hoping. Some mornings you wake up warm. Not from blankets, not from fire. From inside, like something inside you is burning. Like your own body has become a hearth. You do not question it. You just feel it. And you carry it through the day. A secret warmth. A private fire. A hidden spring. There's a belief that everyone carries a spring inside them. Frozen, sleeping, waiting. Winter keeps it locked, but it is there. Always. Under the ice. Under the snow. Under the cold. And when the moment comes, when the crack appears, when the thaw begins, your spring will melt. Your spring will flow. Your spring will bloom. There is a night when everyone makes a promise. Not to each other, to themselves. Gaius promises to stop stealing salt. Marcus promises to mend his own cloak without complaining. Decimus promises to tell one more story before he dies. Publius promises to count to 1,000 ice crystals. You promise to remember this, all of this, every fire, every breath, every moment of boredom that was actually peace, every moment of cold that was actually clarity. You promise, and the fire crackles, and the wind howls, and the promise holds. There is a rhythm to promises in winter. Promises are not contracts. Promises are prayers. Promises are ways of telling the universe what you want, what you need, what you believe. The universe does not answer, but the universe listens. And sometimes, very rarely, the universe bends. There is a belief that if you keep a promise through winter, spring will reward you. Not with wealth, no, with fame, with peace, with warmth, with the knowledge that you survived, that you endured, that you did not break. That is the greatest reward. That is the only reward that matters. There is a man who has not kept a single promise his whole life. His name is Felix. Felix promises everything. Felix delivers nothing. But in winter, Felix makes one promise: to stay, to not run, to not hide, to face the cold. And Felix keeps it. For 4 months, Felix stays. Felix endures. Felix does not run. When spring comes, Felix cries, not from sadness, from pride, from surprise, from the realization that he is stronger than he ever believed. There is a rhythm to pride in winter. Pride is not arrogance. Pride is survival. Pride is standing up after falling. Pride is breathing after holding. Pride is stitching after tearing. Pride is waiting after despair. You are proud, not of what you have done, of what you are doing, of what you are still doing. Every breath, every stitch, every weight. You are proud. There is a night when the moon is full. The snow glows. The camp is silver. Everyone goes outside. No one speaks. They just stand in the snow, under the moon, feeling the cold, feeling the glow, feeling the glow, feeling alive. For 20 minutes, the world is beautiful. Not warm, not comfortable. Beautiful. Then someone sneezes. Everyone laughs. Everyone goes inside. But the beauty stays in memory, in bone, in soul. There's a belief that moonlight in winter's memory made visible. That the moon shows you everything you have forgotten, everything you have lost, everything you have loved. You look up, you see faces, not real, not literal, but there, in the shadows, in the craters, in the glow. Your mother, your father, your childhood dog. They are all there, watching, waiting, proud. There is a superstition about looking at the moon too long. If you stare, you will forget where you are. You will wander. You will wander into the snow. You will never come back. Everyone looks quickly. Everyone looks with respect. Everyone looks with love. But everyone also looks away, because some things are too beautiful to hold. Some lights are too bright to bear. There is a rhythm to beauty in winter. Beauty is rare. Beauty is brief. Beauty is sharp. Like ice. Like crystal. Like a single note held too long. You do not chase it. You do not hold it. You just witness it. You just breathe it. You just let it pass through you. And you are changed. Slightly. Subtly. Forever. There's a man who collects beauty. Not objects. Moments. A specific shadow at sunset. A particular sound of snow falling. A unique smell of smoke on a still night. He collects them in his mind. Hundreds. Thousands. When he is sad, he replays them. When he is scared, he holds them. When he is dying, he will see them all at once, and he will smile. There is a belief that beauty is the antidote to winter, not warmth, not food, not company. Beauty. A single moment of beauty can sustain you for weeks. A single memory of beauty can carry you through the darkest night. You seek beauty, not in grand things, in small things, in cracks, in flames, in faces, in breath. There is a night when Gaius makes everyone laugh. Really laugh. Not polite laugh. Not winter laugh. Real laugh. From the belly. From the soul. He does not tell a joke. He falls. He trips over the dog. He lands in the porridge pot. Porridge everywhere. On him. On everyone. On the fire. The fire hisses. The dog barks. Gaius sits in the pot. Covered. Silent. Then he starts laughing. Then everyone starts laughing. For 5 minutes, the camp is pure joy. Pure release. Pure light. Then someone slips in the porridge. Then someone else. Soon everyone is sliding, slipping, falling, laughing. The worst night becomes the best night because laughter is fire. Laughter is warmth. Laughter is spring. There is a rhythm to laughter in winter. Laughter does not come often. When it comes, it is explosive. It bursts. It floods. It heals. You laugh until you cry. You laugh until you ache. You laugh until you forget the cold. And for those moments, winter loses. Winter retreats. Winter waits. There is a belief that if you laugh on the darkest night, you will see the light come sooner. This is not astronomy. This is psychology. This is spirit. When you laugh, you shift. You change frequency. You tune into hope. And hope accelerates time. Maybe. Probably not. But you laugh anyway. Because even if it does not work, it feels like it works. And feeling is everything. There's a superstition about crying after laughing. If you cry right after laughing, the tears are pure. They wash away winter. They clean your eyes for spring. Everyone has cried after laughing. Everyone knows the feeling, the release, the emptying, the lightness. You are lighter after. You are clearer after. You are ready after. There is a night when the wind stops completely. For the first time in months, the silence is deafening. No whistle, no howl, no creak, nothing. Everyone stands outside, listening, waiting, afraid. If the wind stops forever, what will keep the world moving? What will push the clouds? What will bring the rain? What will signal life? Then, after 20 minutes, a whisper, a breath. The wind returns. Gentle, soft, like it was resting, like it went to sleep and woke up refreshed. Everyone sighs. Everyone goes inside. Everyone sleeps better that night than any night before. Because the wind came back. Because nothing is forever. Because even absence ends. There is a belief that silence is winter's rest. That when the wind sleeps, winter is dreaming. Dreaming of spring. Dreaming of thaw. Dreaming of green. You are inside the dream. You are part of winter's dream. And when winter wakes, when winter opens its eyes, spring will be there, waiting. There's a rhythm to waiting in winter. Waiting is not passive. Waiting is active. Waiting is preparing. Waiting is healing. Waiting is becoming. You are not wasting time. You are using time. You are filling time with breath, with stitch, with story, with love, with hope, with beauty, with laughter, with tears, with everything that makes you human. There is a man who has stopped waiting, not because spring has come, because he has arrived. He says he is already in spring, inside. He says spring is a state, not a season, not a place, a feeling, a warmth, a bloom. Everyone thinks he is mad. Everyone also envies him. Because if spring is inside, then winter cannot touch you. If spring is inside, then you carry it everywhere. If spring is inside, then you are never alone. There is a belief that this man is right. That spring lives in every human heart. Frozen, sleeping, but alive. And the only thing between you and spring is thawing, is patience, is breath, is belief. You do not need to wait for the world. You need to wait for yourself. There's a night when everyone closes their eyes and searches for their spring. Inside, deep, where the ice is thickest, where the cold is deepest. You search, you dig, you feel, and there, a warmth, small, faint, real. You touch it, you hold it, you breathe into it, and it grows. Just a little, just enough. You open your eyes, you smile. You are carrying spring. You have always been carrying spring. There is a rhythm to carrying spring. It is heavy, like all good things. It pulls you down. It slows you. But it also holds you up. It also gives you purpose. You carry spring through every boring day, through every cold night, through every moment of doubt. And when the world finally thaws, you will plant it. You will watch it grow. You will see what you carried become real. There is a belief that the spring you carry inside becomes the spring you create outside. Your patience becomes flowers. Your gratitude becomes rain. Your love becomes warmth. Your hope becomes light. You are not separate from spring. You are spring. Winter is just the pause before the bloom. There is a man who has started to bloom. Not literally, but visibly. His face is different. Softer. His eyes are different. Brighter. His movements are different. Lighter. He has found his spring. Early. Before anyone else. Everyone watches him. Everyone learns from him. How to soften. How to brighten. How to lighten. He does not teach. He just is. And being is the greatest teaching. There is a superstition about blooming early. If you bloom before spring, you will wilt. You will burn out. You will die before the real warmth comes. But this man is not wilting. He is steady. He is rooted. He is patient because his bloom is not external. His bloom is internal, and internal blooms never wilt. They just deepen. They just spread. They just become. There is a night when Decimus announces he will die soon. Not dramatically, not fearfully, calmly. He says his bones tell him. Winter is taking him. He has had enough winters. He is ready for spring. Everyone is silent. No one cries. Not yet. Decimus says, do not be sad. Be grateful. He says he has had 32 winters, 32 fires, 32 springs, 32 chances to become. He says he is complete. He says he is ready. He says, see you in the bloom. Then he lies down. He closes his eyes. He smiles. Everyone sits with him all night. No one sleeps. Everyone just sits, holds his hand, breathes with him, waits with him, waits with him. In the morning, Decimus is still, peaceful, smiling. Spring came for him early, inside, where no one can see, where no one can doubt. There is a rhythm to death and winter. Death is not the opposite of life. Death is not the completion of life. Death is the completion of life. Death is the final stitch, the last breath, the deepest sleep. You do not fear Decimus's death. You honor it. You celebrate it. Because Decimus finished. Decimus endured. Decimus became. And now Decimus rests. There is a belief that the dead become part of winter. Their warmth goes into the fire. Their patience goes into the stones. Their love goes into the snow. When you sit by the fire, you are sitting with Decimus. When you walk the perimeter, you are walking with Decimus. When you wait for spring, you are waiting with Decimus. He is not gone. He is transformed. He is everywhere. There is a tradition when someone dies. You carve their name next to the fire, next to Titus, next to all the others. You carve it deep. You carve it true. You carve it with love. Decimus. The letters glow in the firelight. They will glow for centuries. For everyone who comes after. For everyone who sits where you are sitting now. Decimus lives. In the wall. In the fire. In the memory. In the story. There is a night after Decimus dies when no one speaks. Not the silence tradition. Real silence. Heavy silence. Grief silence. The fire burns. The wind howls. The world continues. But inside the camp, everything has changed. A space has opened. A warmth has left. A wisdom has departed. You feel it. Everyone feels it. The absence is louder than any sound. Then Gaius speaks. He says Decimus would want us to laugh. He says Decimus would hate this silence. He says Decimus would throw porridge at us. Everyone laughs. Through tears. Through grief. Through love. The laughter fills the space. The laughter holds the warmth. The laughter keeps Decimus alive. There is a rhythm to grief in winter. Grief does not come all at once. Grief comes in waves. Some days you forget. You stitch. You eat. You breathe. Then something triggers. A smell. A sound. A sound. A shadow. And the wave hits. You cry. You shake. You break. Then the wave passes. And you stitch again, and you eat again, and you breathe again. Grief is not something you overcome. Grief is not something you carry. Like spring, like hope, like love. There is a belief that grief is love with nowhere to go. Decimus is gone. Your love remains. So you give it away. You love Gaius more. You love Marcus more. You love the dog more. You love the fire more. You love winter more. You love spring more. You love everything more. Because love is infinite. Because love does not die. Because love transforms. There is a man who has stopped eating after Decimus dies. Not forever. Just for 3 days. A fast. A mourning. A ritual. Everyone understands. No one stops him. On the 4th day he eats 1 bite of porridge. He chews slowly. He swallows. He cries. Then he eats the rest. Because Decimus would want him to live. Because Decimus would want him to eat. Because Decimus would want him to carry on. There is a superstition about the first meal after grief. Whatever you eat first will sustain you for the rest of winter. Publius eats ice crystals, not real ones. A piece of frozen bread. He says it is the same. Everyone nods. Everyone believes. Because belief is food. Because ritual is nourishment. Because meaning is survival. There is a night when the new old man emerges. Not by age, by presence. His name is Aurelius. He is 47. He has been here for 20 years. He has always been quiet, always been in the background. But now, with Decimus gone, Aurelius steps forward. He sits in the warm spot. Everyone defers. Everyone accepts. The hierarchy shifts. The rhythm adjusts. Life continues. There is a belief that every group contains multiple elders, one active, others sleeping. When the active elder falls, a sleeping elder wakes. The group never loses wisdom. The group never loses warmth. The elders rotate, like seasons, like breath, like life itself. There is a rhythm to leadership in winter. Leaders do not command. Leaders endure. Leaders sit. Leaders listen. Leaders remember. Leaders connect past to future. Aurelius does not give orders. Aurelius tells stories. Aurelius asks questions. Aurelius sits with the grieving. Aurelius holds the fire. That is leadership. That is what winter demands. There is a man who challenges Aurelius, not violently, quietly. He says Aurelius is too soft, too slow, too gentle. Winter needs hardness. Winter needs speed. Winter needs strength. Aurelius listens. Aurelius nods. Aurelius nods. Aurelius says winter needs roots, not branches. Roots go deep. Roots hold. Roots survive. The challenger thinks. The challenger sits. The challenger becomes quieter, not defeated, transformed. Because Aurelius did not fight back. Aurelius absorbed. Aurelius transformed through presence, not force. There is a belief that the strongest thing in winter is softness, not hardness. Softness bends. Hardness breaks. Softness endures. Hardness shatters. You are learning this. Every day, every stitch, every breath, you are becoming soft, not weak, soft, flexible, resilient, unbreakable. There is a night when the challenger apologizes, not with words, with action. He brings Aurelius extra firewood. He gives Aurelius his warmest blanket. He sits next to Aurelius in silence. That is apology. That is respect. That is transformation. Aurelius accepts. With a nod, with a smile, with a shared breath. The camp heals. The rhythm restores. Winter continues. There is a rhythm to healing in winter. Healing is not linear. Healing is not linear. Healing is spiral. You go forward, you circle back, you go deeper, you surface, you dive again. Some days you are better. Some days you are worse. Both are healing. Both are necessary. Both are part of becoming. There is a belief that winter heals what summer cannot. Summer is too busy, too bright, too loud. Winter is quiet. Winter is quiet. Winter is slow. Winter is deep. In winter, you can go inside. You can face what you avoid. You can heal what you hide. Winter is therapy. Winter is surgery. Winter is rebirth. There is a man who has been hiding a wound. Not physical, emotional, a betrayal, years ago, by someone he loved. He has carried it through summers, through other winters, through everything. But this winter, in this firelight, with these men, he tells it. The whole story. The pain, the anger, the shame, the loneliness. Everyone listens. No one judges. No one advises. They just hold space. They just breathe with him. They just witness. When he finishes, the fire crackles. Like applause, like release, like permission. The wound is still there, but it is smaller, lighter, shared. There is a superstition about telling wounds. If you speak a wound aloud, it loses half its power. If 7 people hear it, loses half again. By the time everyone has heard it, the wound is just a scar. A memory. A teacher. A strength. You carry scars proudly in winter. Scars are proof. Proof you survived. Proof you were wounded and did not die. Proof you are real. There is a night when everyone shares a scar. Not physical, emotional, spiritual. Gaius talks about abandonment. Marcus talks about failure. Aurelius talks about loss. Publius talks about fear. You talk about something you have never told anyone. The words come slowly. The tears come faster. The fire listens. The walls listen. The winter listens. And somehow, by speaking, by sharing, by being witnessed, the scar transforms into wisdom, into compassion, into connection. There is a rhythm to sharing in winter. Sharing is not weakness. Sharing is strength. Sharing is strength. Sharing is trust. Sharing is love. When you share your darkness, you give others permission to share theirs. When you share your pain, you discover you are not alone. When you share your story, you become part of everyone's story, and everyone becomes part of yours. There is a belief that the camp is a body. Each man is an organ. Gaius is the liver, detoxifying, processing, keeping things moving. Marcus is the heart, mending, connecting, pumping warmth. Aurelius is the brain, thinking, guiding, remembering. Publius is the lungs, breathing, counting, taking in air. You are the stomach, digesting, absorbing, transforming cold into warmth. The dog is the soul, watching, waiting, loving without condition. When one organ fails, the whole body suffers. When one organ heals, the whole body strengthens. You are not separate. You are one. There is a night when this becomes real. Publius gets sick. Fever, shaking, delirium. The body reacts. Gaius brings water. Marcus mends extra blankets. Aurelius sits with him. You feed him. Everyone takes turns. Everyone to cubes. The body heals itself through cooperation, through love, through being one. Publius recovers. Slowly, over 3 days. When he wakes, he says, I felt all of you. I felt your hands, your breath, your warmth. I was never alone. Everyone cries because they felt it too. They felt each other. They felt the body. They felt the truth. There is a rhythm to sickness in winter. Sickness is not punishment. Sickness is signal. Sickness says, slow down. Sickness says, listen. Sickness says you are pushing too hard. You are forgetting to breathe. You are forgetting to rest. Winter sickness teaches balance, teaches humility, teaches dependence. You cannot survive alone. Not really. Not fully. You need the body. You need the camp. You need each other. There is a belief that winter sickness is winter's way of pruning, cutting away what is weak, what is unnecessary, what is blocking growth. The fever burns away toxins. The shaking releases tension. The delirium opens doors. When you recover, you are leaner, stronger, clearer, pruned, ready. There is a man who has never been sick, not once, in 20 years. His name is Cassius, the poet. Everyone calls him lucky. Cassius says, I am not lucky. I am grateful. Every morning I thank my body. Every night I listen to it. When it says rest, I rest. When it says eat, I eat. When it says stop, I stop. Cassius is not superhuman. Cassius is attentive. Cassius is in relationship with his body, and his body rewards him. There is a superstition about gratitude and health. If you thank your body every day, it will protect you. Not from everything, but from most things. You start doing it. Every morning, thank you lungs. Thank you heart. Thank you hands. Thank you feet. Your body responds. You feel warmer. You feel stronger. You feel stronger. You feel held. Because gratitude is medicine. Gratitude is prayer. Gratitude is love. There is a night when the fever spreads. Not to everyone. To 3 men. Simultaneous. The camp shifts into crisis mode. Everyone who is healthy becomes caretaker. The fire is fed constantly. The water is boiled. The blankets are rotated. The stories are told softly. The songs are hummed quietly. For 5 days, the camp is a hospital. For 5 days, everyone is a healer. When the 3 men recover, they say the same thing. I heard you, even in the fever, even in the darkness. I heard your voices. I heard your songs. I held on to them. They pulled me back. There is a belief that voice is medicine, not just words. Vibration, frequency, energy. When you speak, when you sing, when you hum, you send waves, healing waves, comforting waves, returning waves. The sick hear them. The sick follow them. The sick come home. There is a rhythm to healing voices. Soft, steady, continuous. Not loud, not demanding. Just present. Just there. Like the fire. Like the breath. Like the heartbeat of the camp. You learn to speak differently in winter. Slower, gentler, more intentional. Every word matters. Every sound matters. Because you are not just communicating, you are healing. There is a man who has lost his voice, not physically, emotionally. He has not spoken in 2 weeks. Not from punishment, from pain. Something happened. Something he cannot say. Everyone notices. Everyone worries. No one pushes. Aurelia sits with him every day for an hour in silence, just sitting, just breathing. On the 15th day, the man speaks. 1 word, help. Everyone breathes. Everyone listens. The man tells his story. Slowly, fragmented, painful, but told. When he finishes, his voice returns. Not fully, but enough. And everyone is grateful. Because voice is life. Voice is connection. Voice is survival. There is a superstition about silence and voice. If you stay silent too long, your voice dies. If you speak too much, your voice breaks. The balance is everything. Speak when needed. Silence when needed. Listen when needed. The rhythm of voice and silence is the rhythm of life itself. There is a night when everyone practices. Half speak, half listen, then switch. The speakers share anything. A memory, a fear, a dream, a joke. The listeners just receive no advice, no judgment, no interruption, just presence. When they switch, the listeners become speakers, the speakers become listeners, and everyone feels it. The power of being heard, the power of hearing, the power of being present. There is a belief that listening is the highest form of love. When you listen fully, you give someone your entire self, your attention, your presence, your energy. That is love. That is gift. That is what winter teaches. Not grand gestures, not dramatic acts, just sitting, just breathing, just listening. There is a rhythm to presence in winter. Presence is not doing. Presence is being. You do not need to fix. You do not need to solve. You do not need to entertain. You just need to be there, fully, completely, without distraction, without agenda, without escape. That is the hardest thing. That is the most valuable thing. That is the thing winter demands. There is a man who has mastered presence, not Aurelius, someone younger. His name is Titus, not the Titus from the wall. A different Titus, living Titus. Titus sits, that is all. He sits and he is there, completely. When you talk to Titus, he hears every word. When you are silent with Titus, he fills the silence with warmth. When you cry near Titus, he cries with you, not his tears. Shared tears. Titus is a mirror. Titus is a hearth. Titus is a home. There is a superstition about mirrors. If you find your mirror, you will never be lost. Titus is everyone's mirror. He reflects back your truth, your beauty, your pain, your strength. You look into Titus and you see yourself clearly, honestly, lovingly. Everyone needs a Titus. Everyone is a Titus to someone. There is a night when Titus speaks. Rare. He says 1 sentence. You are all already spring. Then he stops. Then he smiles. Then he returns to silence. Everyone sits with that. You are all already spring. Not waiting for spring. Not hoping for spring. Already spring. Inside. where the warmth lives, where the bloom waits, where the thaw has already begun. You feel it. You touch it. You know it is true. There is a rhythm to knowing in winter. Knowing is not intellectual. Knowing is felt. Knowing is bodily. Knowing is cellular. You do not think spring. You feel spring. You do not hope spring. You know spring. It is inside you. It has always been inside you. Winter just made you forget. But now you remember. And remembering changes everything. There is a belief that remembering is the same as arriving. When you remember your spring, you activate it. When you feel your warmth, you generate it. When you know your bloom, you begin it. The external world follows the internal world. Always. First the shift inside, then the shift outside. You are shifting inside. Can you feel it? The thaw, the melt, the flow. It has started. It has always been starting. There is a night when the ice on the window cracks. Not from heat, from pressure, from inside. Like something pushing out. Everyone sees it. The crack spreads, branching, like lightning, like roots, like veins, like life. Everyone stares. No one speaks. The crack holds. The ice holds. But something has changed. Something has shifted. The ice is not solid anymore. The ice is becoming. There is a superstition about ice cracks. When the ice cracks from inside, spring is 3 weeks away. Everyone counts. 21 days. Everyone marks the wall. Every morning a new mark. 21 becomes 20. 20 becomes 19. The countdown has begun. Officially, undeniably, spring is coming. Not someday. Soon. There is a rhythm to counting down. Different from counting up. Counting up was endurance. Counting down is anticipation. Counting up was survival. Counting down is celebration. Your energy shifts. Your sleep shifts. Your dream shift. You dream of green. You dream of birds. You dream of warmth. You are ready. You have always been ready. Winter was just the preparation. There is a belief that the last 3 weeks of winter are the hardest, not because of cold, because of hope. Hope hurts. Hope aches. Hope makes you impatient. You want spring now, not in 20 days. Now. You must learn patience one more time. Final patience, last patience, the patience that releases, not holds, the patience that trusts, not doubts. There's a night when someone breaks, not physically, emotionally. The hope is too much, the waiting is too long, the ache is too deep. He screams, into the fire, into the night, into the void. He screams until his voice is gone, then he collapses, then he cries, then he sleeps. Everyone holds him. Everyone holds space. Everyone understands. Hope breaks people too, not just despair. Hope because hope means feeling, and feeling means pain, and pain means release. He will be okay. He is released. He is emptied. He is cleared. Tomorrow he will be lighter. Tomorrow he will be lighter. Tomorrow he will be. There is a rhythm to breaking in winter. Breaking is not failure. Breaking is breakthrough. Breaking is the ice cracking. Breaking is the shell opening. Breaking is the bud splitting. You must break to bloom. You must crack to grow. You must fall to rise. Winter teaches this over and over until you believe it, until you live it, until you live it, until you become it. There is a belief that the people who break in winter are the people who bloom brightest in spring because they went deepest, because they felt most. Because they released everything. The bloom is proportional to the break. The flower is proportional to the crack. You are breaking. Beautifully. Necessarily. Perfectly. There is a night when everyone breaks. Not dramatically. Quietly. One by one. Tears. Sighs. Collapses. Releases. The camp becomes a sanctuary. A hospital. A womb. Everyone heals everyone. Everyone heals everyone. Everyone holds everyone. Everyone loves everyone. For one night, the walls dissolve. For one night, there are no ranks, no roles, no names. Just beings. Just hearts. Just breath. Just love. When dawn comes, everyone is different. Lighter. Clearer. Softer. Ready. There is a rhythm to collective healing. When everyone heals together, healing accelerates. Healing multiplies. Healing becomes exponential. One person releases. That energy flows. The next person feels it. The next person releases. The chain continues until everyone has released, until everyone has healed, until everyone has transformed. That night was the turning point. After that night, winter loosens. After that night, warmth seeps in. After that night, spring whispers. There is a belief that collective transformation shifts reality. When 7 people transform together, the world transforms with them. The ice cracks. The snow softens. The wind gentles. The sun stays longer. Not because of magic. Because of alignment. Because of frequency. Because of love. You raised the frequency. The world responded. Always. There is a morning when the sun stays. Not for 10 minutes. For 2 hours. Real sun. Warm sun. Golden sun. Golden sun. Everyone floods outside. They lie in the snow. They close their eyes. They feel it. On their faces. On their hands. On their souls. For 2 hours, the world is summer. For 2 hours, winter is a memory. Then the clouds return. But something has changed. The warmth stays. Inside. Where it matters. There is a superstition about the long sun. When the sun stays for more than 1 hour, spring is 10 days away. Everyone recalculates. 10 days, 240 hours, 1,440 minutes. Everyone can endure that. Everyone has endured worse. Everyone is ready. There is a rhythm to final waiting. Final waiting is not suffering. Final waiting is savoring. You savor every last cold breath, every last fire crackle, every last snowfall. Because this is the last time. This winter will end. This fire will dim. This cold will leave. And you will miss it. Not the suffering. The depth. Not the boredom. The peace. Not the isolation. The connection. You are saying goodbye. To winter. To yourself. To who you were. There is a belief that you must grieve winter to receive spring. You cannot rush. You cannot skip. You must feel the loss. The loss of stillness, the loss of simplicity, the loss of closeness, the loss of depth. Spring brings noise, busy, distance, shallow. You will miss winter. Even as you long for spring, even as you ache for warmth, you will miss this. So you grieve now, before it ends. So you can release, so you can release, so you can receive. There is a night of goodbye. Everyone gathers around the fire one last time. Not the last time ever. The last time this winter. They share memories, lessons, gratitude. Gaius thanks the socks. Marcus thanks the cloaks. Aurelius thanks the silence. Publius thanks the ice crystals. You thank the crack in the ceiling. Felix thanks you for existing, for listening, for being. The fire burns bright. The wind howls soft. The snow falls gentle. Winter is saying goodbye too. Winter is proud. Winter is proud. Winter is satisfied. Winter has done its work. There is a rhythm to goodbye. Goodbye is not ending. Goodbye is completing. Goodbye is blessing. You bless winter. You bless the cold. You bless the boredom. You bless the fire. You bless the fire. You bless the men. You bless yourself. You say thank you. You say I learned. You say I became. You say see you next year. Winter smiles. In the crackle. In the glow. In the warmth. Winter says see you next year. There is a belief that winter and you have a contract. Every year you meet. Every year you transform. Every year you deepen. Every year you become more. Winter is not your enemy. Winter is your partner. Winter is your teacher. Winter is your friend. You will meet again, and again, and again, and again. At each time you will be ready. Each time you will go deeper. Each time you will bloom brighter. There is a morning when the first thaw comes. Not everywhere, just a spot, near the fire, where the snow melts, and underneath, green, real green, small, fragile, alive. Everyone sees it. Everyone kneels. Everyone touches it. With reverence, with tears, with joy. Spring is here. Not fully, not yet, but here. Beginning, starting, becoming. The green spreads. Slowly, over days, over weeks. But it spreads. And you watch, and you wait, and you bloom with it. There is a rhythm to thawing. Thawing is not instant. Thawing is gradual. Thawing is patient. Like everything in winter, the ice melts drop by drop. The snow recedes inch by inch. The warmth seeps degree by degree. You do not force. You do not rush. You just allow. You just trust. You just allow. You just trust. You just be. And spring comes, as it always does, as it always will. There is a belief that the green you see first is the green you carried inside, all winter, all along, your internal spring manifesting externally. You did not just survive winter, you grew winter. You grew spring inside, and now it shows. Now it blooms. Now it lives. There is a final night of winter, the last night. The temperature rises, the snow softens, the wind gentles. Everyone knows tomorrow is different. Tomorrow is spring. Tonight is the last fire, the last cold breath, the last winter story. Aurelius speaks. He says, remember this, all of this, the cold, the boredom, the stitching, the waiting, the fire, the men, the crack, the string, the shadow, the cup, the tea, the grandmother, the deer, the stars, the moon, the blue fire, the songs, the poems, the tears, the laughter, the roke, the breaking, the healing, the love. Remember, because you will need it in spring, in summer, in autumn, in the next winter. This is your foundation. This is your root. This is your strength. You nod. You remember. You carry. The fire dims. Not out. Dim. Like a heartbeat slowing, like a breath deepening, like a song fading. Not gone, just resting, waiting for next winter. You lie down, under 7 layers of wool. One last time. You close your eyes. You feel the cold. One last time. You smile. One last time. Winter, thank you. Spring, I am ready. You sleep, deep, full, complete. And in your sleep, you bloom. And in your bloom, you become. And in your becoming, you are. Always, forever, home. The wind whispers. One last time. Sleep well. See you next year. And the crack in the ceiling. Felix glows. Just for a moment. Just for you. A wink. A smile. A promise. I will be here. When you come back, I will always be here. Sleep. Bloom. Be. This is the end of winter. This is the beginning of everything. You wake up and the world sounds different. Not quieter, softer. The wind has changed. It does not howl anymore. It hums. It brushes. It whispers instead of screams. You lie on your bench for a long time. You do not move. You listen. The fire is still burning. Gaius is still snoring. The dog is still snoring. The dog is still sighing. But something has shifted. Something you can feel in your bones. The cold is still there, but it is no longer inside you. It is outside you. You are no longer part of the winter. The winter is no longer part of you. You are separate again. You are yourself again. You are ready. You sit up. You put your feet on the floor. The floor is still cold, but it does not bite. It just is. You stand. You walk to the door. You push it open. The light hits you. Not winter light. Spring light. Golden. Warm. Alive. You step outside. The snow is still everywhere, but it is melting. You can hear it. A drip. A drup. A trickle. The sound of the world waking up. You stand there, in the doorway. Between winter and spring. Between who you were and who you are. You take one breath. Deep. Full. Complete. The air tastes different. Not like iron and peat and old wool. Like water. Like earth. Like green. You did not know green had a taste. It does. You forgot. Now you remember. One by one, the others come out. Gaius first. Always Gaius first. He stands next to you. He does not speak. He just stands. Then Marcus. Then Publius. Then Aurelius. Then Aurelius. Then everyone. All standing in the doorway. All looking at the same light. All feeling the same thing. Relief. Not dramatic relief. Quiet relief. The relief of having made it. Of having endured. Of having survived something that tried to kill you and failed. The dog walks past you all. He steps into the snow. He sniffs it. He sneezes. He shakes his whole body. Then he trots toward the gate. He does not look back. He is done with winter. He is moving on. You all watch him go. You all smile. The dog knows something you do not. The dog knows that spring is not something you wait for. Spring is something you wait for. Spring is something you walk toward. So you walk. You walk past the gate. You walk past the wall. You walk to the river. The ice is breaking. You can hear it cracking, groaning, slowly giving way. The Rhine is waking up. The water is moving. Not fast, not yet, but moving. After 5 months of frozen stillness, the river is alive again. You stand on the bank and you watch. You watch the ice break into pieces. You watch the pieces float away. You watch the water appear. Dark, cold, real, running. You did not realize how much you missed the sound of running water. It is the most beautiful sound you have ever heard. You stand there for a long time. You do not count the minutes. You do not need to. Time has started moving again. You do not need to push it or slow it. You just let it go. Behind you, the camp is waking up. Men are pulling off extra layers of wool. Men are stretching. Men are laughing. Real laughing. Not winter laughing. The kind of laughing that comes from a body that is finally warm. Someone starts singing. Not the winter song. A new song. A spring song. No one knows the words. Everyone makes them up. It does not matter. The melody is joy. The rhythm is freedom. The harmony is relief. You turn back toward the camp. You look at the barracks. Your barracks. Your home for 5 months. It looks smaller now. It looks older. It looks tired. But it also looks proud. Like it held you. Like it protected you. Like it did its job. You walk toward it. You put your hand on the wall. The stone is cold, but the sun is warming it. You can feel the change. You can feel the transition. You whisper thank you to the wall, to the fire, to the crack in the ceiling, to the string that swung, to the shadow that leaned, to the cup that never froze, to the nail by the door, to everything that kept you, everything that kept you, everything that held you, everything that stayed. You walk inside one last time. The fire is still burning, low, soft, almost out. You sit by it. You hold your hands over it. You feel the warmth for the last time. Not the last time ever. The last time this winter. You will sit by other fires, many other fires, but none will feel like this one. None will hold you like this one. None will save you like this one. You stand up. You walk to the back wall. You find Titus, the old carving, Titus. You run your finger over it one last time. Then you pull out your knife. You carve your name next to his. Slowly, carefully, deep. You carve each letter with intention, with gratitude, with love. When you are done, you step back. You look at both names, side by side, 200 years apart. Same fire, same winter, same endurance, same survival. You are part of something now. Something that started before you and will continue after you. You are part of the wall. You are part of the story. You are part of the winter, forever. You walk outside. The sun is higher now, warmer. The snow is melting faster. You can see patches of earth, brown, wet, ugly, beautiful. The most beautiful earth you have ever seen. You kneel down, you touch it, you feel it. Cold and damp and real. You smell it, like life, like growth, like future. You stand up. You brush the mud off your hands. You do not wipe it all away. You leave some. You want to carry it with you. A reminder. A memory. A piece of the first spring. The others are packing now, rolling blankets, folding cloaks, gathering belongings. The camp is emptying, not in a rush, slowly, gently, like a breath leaving a body. No one is sad, no one is sad, no one is celebrating. Everyone is just transitioning, moving from one state to another, from stillness to motion, from waiting to going, from winter to spring. Gaius walks past you carrying his pack. He stops. He looks at you. He says you were the quietest person in this room. You say you were the loudest person in your head. He laughs. You laugh. He says, see you next winter. You say, see you next winter. You say, see you next winter. He walks away. You watch him go. You will see him next winter. And the winter after that. And the winter after that. Until one of you does not come back. And then the other will carve their name next to yours. Marcus walks past. He does not stop. He just nods. You nod back. That is enough. That is everything. Marcus taught you how to stitch. Marcus taught you how to mend. Marcus taught you that broken things are not ruined. They are just ready to be repaired. You will carry that lesson forever. Publius walks past carrying his box of ice crystals. He stops. He opens the box. He takes one out. He hands it to you. He says this one is yours. You look at it. Small, clear, beautiful. A frozen moment of winter. You close your hand around it. You feel it melt. You feel the water run between your fingers. You feel it disappear. You smile. It was not meant to last. It was meant to be felt. Publius smiles too. He understands. He walks away. You let the last drop of water fall from your hand. You watch it hit the ground. You watch it soak into the earth. Part of you is in the earth now. Part of winter is in the spring. Part of the old is in the new. Aurelius is the last to leave. He stands in the doorway. He looks back at the empty barracks. He looks at the fire. The fire is almost out now. Just embers. Just a glow. Aurelius walks to it. He kneels. He blows on it. It flares. Just for a second. Then it dims. Then it goes out. Aurelius stands. He turns. He walks out. He does not look back again. The fire is out. The winter is over. The room is dark. But the warmth is still there. In the walls. In the floor. In the stones. In the names carved above the hearth. The warmth will stay. For the men who come next. For the winter that comes next. For as long as the camp stands. And long after. Aurelius passes you. He puts his hand on your shoulder. He says you survived. You say we survived. He nods. He says that is what matters. Not how. Not why. Just that we survived. Together. He walks toward the gate. You follow. Everyone follows. One by one. Through the gate. Out of the camp. Into the world. The sun is fully up now. The sky is blue. Not gray. Not white. Blue. Deep. Endless. Beautiful. Not white. Blue. Deep. Endless. Beautiful. You have not seen blue in 5 months. You forgot how big the sky was. You forgot how far it went. You forgot that the world was more than one room and 7 men in a fire and a crack in the ceiling. But you also know now that 1 room and 7 men in a fire and a crack in the ceiling is enough. It is more than enough. It is everything. You walk. The road is soft. The mud squelches under your boots. You do not mind. You will never mind mud again. Mud means thaw. Mud means spring. Mud means life. You look back one last time. The camp is still there. Smaller now. Quieter. Waiting. It will wait here until next winter. It will hold the next men. It will keep the next fire. It will remember the next names. And you will come back. Different. Stronger. Deeper. Ready for another winter. Ready for another transformation. Ready for another becoming. You turn forward. You do not look back again. The road stretches ahead. Long. Winding. Unknown. Unknown. But you are not afraid. You have faced the longest winter. You have sat in the deepest stillness. You have endured the heaviest boredom. You have survived the coldest nights. The road does not scare you. Nothing scares you. Not anymore. You walk. The sun warms your back. The wind brushes your face. The earth holds your feet. You are alive. You are warm. You are free. And somewhere deep inside you, where the ice used to be, where the cold used to live, where winter used to hide, there is a flower. Small, new, just opened, fragile, beautiful, real. Your flower, your spring, your bloom. You grew it through every cold night, through every boring day, through every stitch and every breath and every moment of waiting. You grew it, and now it blooms. And now you bloom. And now the world blooms with you. You smile, not a winter smile, a real smile, a spring smile, a smile that comes from the deepest part of you, from the place that winter could not touch, from the place that was always warm, from the place that was always spring. You walk toward whatever comes next, toward whatever waits, toward whatever life holds. You are ready. You have always been ready. You just needed winter to show you. Thank you, winter. Thank you, fire. Thank you, cold. Thank you, boredom. Thank you, silence. Thank you, Gaius. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Publius. Thank you, Aurelius. Thank you, Decimus. Thank you, Chesimus. Thank you, Felix. Thank you, Pelix. Thank you, Jog. Thank you, grandmother. Thank you, crack. Thank you, string. Thank you, shadow. Thank you, cup. Thank you, nail. Thank you, porridge. Thank you, bread. Thank you, cheese. Thank you, turnips. Thank you, socks. Thank you, wool. Thank you, needle. Thank you, thread. Thank you, breath. Thank you, heart. Thank you, soul. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. And thank you, the person listening right now, wherever you are, whatever winter you are in, whatever cold you are facing, whatever boredom you are enduring, whatever stillness you are sitting in, you are not alone. You have never been alone. You are part of something bigger than you know. You are part of a story that started long before you and will continue long after you. You are part of a fire that has been burning for thousands of years. You are part of a winter that has been transforming people since the beginning of time, and you will bloom. Not maybe, not probably, definitely. You will bloom because you are already blooming inside, where no one can see, where no one can touch, where winter cannot reach. Your spring is coming. Or maybe it is already here. Maybe it is already here. Maybe it has always been here. Maybe you just needed someone to remind you. So let this be your reminder. You are warm. You are strong. You are alive. You are enough. You are alive. You are enough. You are spring. Sleep now. Rest now. Bloom now. The fire is burning. The wind is soft. The snow is melting. The green is coming. And you are home. Always. Forever. Home.